You know, guys, you know what I like to do sometimes?
Jerk off.
Well, it's true. But you know what is around that region? There's hair. So, this is how I want to start. You guys should...
Is a fake sponsor.
You guys should subscribe to Dollar Shave Club. It is only $1 a month.
There we go.
And
We are not.
this
He
video
will not
is brought to you
provide
by
us.
Dollar Shave Club and
We are not brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. We are brought to you by our shitty.
Can't we get sued if we talk like this?
no, because they all know this is not true. For any, if there's anybody actually listening to our video that wants to take action, we are just kidding. I promise you. Anyways,
He promises us.
what's up, everybody?
What's up?
It's second week in a row. We're actually doing it, guys. We're actually doing it.
How you doing?
What's up? What's good? Speaking of what's good, so we were talking earlier this week that like. It's interesting how, like, when we were in middle school, there were people, and still even today, I mean, those same people have names like Bam Bam Wavy, like they put that in their names, or like, and one of the things I remember is that, when I was growing up, there was a meme that says, everyone has at least one friend named Jay Moreno. And it actually wasn't their real name.
I don't have a friend named Jay Moreno.
Well, sadness.
Do you?
Yes, I have like 6.
You have 6 friends named Jay Moreno.
Yes, and that's not even their real name.
You fuck. I'm asking about real named Jay Morenos.
No, I don't. I'm sure
Do they ever-
maybe even one of them might just be named Jay Moreno. I don't even know.
Do they ever beat the shit out of each other for having the same name?
No, they don't know about each other. Thank God.
You should introduce them. See what happens.
You're right. You're right. Anyways, everybody,
You right.
welcome to the second week of the second week of 2019. Welcome to the first week of February. It is the second episode. It is our second week of February of 2019 that we are doing a show, and hopefully we won't take 3.5 hours of your time this time.
I think it was only like 3 hours and 14 minutes.
Close enough. Anyways,
Let's do
guys,
intro.
what's going on? Super Bowl is this weekend.
Let's do intros, damn it.
Oh shit! I am so sorry. What's going on, everybody? My name is Royalty Lorenzo. I am the Blue Squid here on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
My name is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man on the Purple Squid on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
Nice.
And I'm Elric. No, wait, I messed up. Let me
Bruh.
try again. And I'm Eric.
Nice. And everybody, if you guys are noticing, it is back to just the 3 of us. The others could not make it today, but we are here, and we are going to do the show regardless, because, you know, just like in acting, the show must go on. What was that?
Even if it's past midnight.
You are so right. Anyways, everybody, we are, actually right now it is 12:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, not daylight time.
Feel
because
free
we don't
to-
believe in that.
If you guys want to play a game with, like, probably start this at like 12:02 a.m. Your time, and then just see where the podcast ends. That's the time we ended off at.
He's right,
Yeah.
you know, just saying,
Don't
he's
let
right. I one of the funniest memes of 2018 before we graduated. So, wow. Well, yes, before we graduated into 2019, was like, if you play Infinity War at exactly 10:04 p.m.,
Yeah.
Thanos will snap at exactly midnight. Like, things like that, or like...
There were a lot of like memes about that.
Yeah, it was really funny. Also, just this year, one of the funny things that, like, we're all just... I mean, we started kind of late last year, but we started tracking memes of the month, which is really cool. What was the meme for January?
There's been a bunch of memes for January. There's getting choked out. There's
Choking Sasuke.
There's Shaggy, like, a resurgence.
Oh
of
my
Shaggy.
god, yeah, the Shaggy memes are out of control right now.
There's fucking Big Chungus from an early Looney Tunes short where Bugs Bunny had a different design.
Well,
Big Chungus?
Big Chungus.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple of SpongeBob memes thrown in there.
All right,
There's always SpongeBob memes, though.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of them. Eric, I'm surprised you've been keeping track of a couple of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this month alone, well, this month as in, I keep thinking it's still January, but January, there was a ton. There was the, hey, from Spider-Verse.
I forgot that it was February.
Yeah, hey. That one I really like, the hey, because there's so many creative ways people did it. There was like one with Dark Souls with the blacksmith, where they're hammering away, and then they just start laughing maniacally. Or like a evil chuckle.
Right.
I forgot what exactly he did, but a friend of ours, Mark, aka Gal Guy King the Great, he's a voice actor that we met a few years ago.
Oh, Mark Stymick?
No, Mark Joseph.
Oh, Mark Joseph. Wow,
Mark Twain?
I has not heard that name in a really long time. What's up, Mark?
I just imagine Lawrence smoking a cigar there. I haven't heard that name in years.
I has not.
But yeah, he posted one. He posted one the other day, and it actually got like 2,000 likes for.
Which one was it? I might have seen it.
I forgot. It was a pretty good one though. I need to check.
There's a ton of them. Like there's one where Miles has like a Minecraft pickaxe for his hand, and he's striking Gwen, and then Gwen turns into like diamond armor and stuff, and then you hear the Minecraft like pickup sound for the hay.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Like the Smash reverse target test, and then Miles's hand hits the target, and then the result screen is hey.
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 God. There's that. There was the Sasuke choking. Remember that?
The
that one
Sasuke,
really
yeah.
died down after a short while, but that was huge for a little bit. The Sasuke choking thing.
Yes.
There's a lot of what else?
Crossover one where Miles choked Sasuke.
Yeah. I love that when they put two memes together. Oh man, what else? Right now it's. I've been seeing a lot of memes for Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 because they're like the biggest games out right now. There's a lot of memes playing on the fact that everyone who's playing Resident Evil 2 is swooning over Leon. So people have made fake porn ads with Leon.
Oh my god.
I've seen so many of them. I'm like, fuck. I might buy it. But there's that. There's a lot of Kingdom Hearts 3 memes because people have been finding a lot of funny things. Like there's one in the Frozen world where like the wind is blowing and you have to like hide behind a rock. And there's one point where Donald's like, the wind will never get us here. And then the next second, he flies away. So it's just, it's a lot of stuff like that.
Speaking of Donald, actually, we had this funny. So earlier this week, I was twitching on stream.
Twitching. He was twitching. We had to take him to the hospital.
I was streaming on Twitch, and we played Castle of Illusion, which, by the way, really good game. Let me just say. Honestly, it was the day right before Kingdom Hearts came out, so it was just like, fuck that. We don't need Kingdom Hearts. We have this. It was funny.
Fuck that shit.
It was a really, really, really good game. Like,
is that a Disney game?
Yeah, it was a Sega. So it's a remaster of an old Sega Genesis game that came out a long time ago.
Oh, what'd you play it on?
Too.
A PC. It's on Steam for it was on sale on Steam for like $1 when I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a fun game. The jumping mechanics are really good. But it's funny, so literally everything that you do, almost every single move that you make is narrated by who I like to call Morgan Freeman. Because it's just like this deep voice. Mickey did not know what to do next.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, wow, okay. And one of the things that he was he said, because we were in this like abandoned cave or something.
Oh, now I know what.
There was like a duck like in the background. He's like, the giant duck in the background reminded Mickey of something that his friend Donald Duck said about adventures. Never have them. I was like,
that reminds me of Supergiant games, in Bastion and in Transistor as well, you have like a character narrating over everything you're doing, and it's really cool because the voice actor is amazing. He has this like really deep voice.
Yeah. I highly recommend checking the game out. Honestly, like it is an easy game to 100%.
Did you do it on stream?
I didn't 100% it on stream.
We did get pretty far in it though.
I got also through half.
Were you playing with him?
I wasn't playing with him, but I was on the stream with him.
Yeah, he was watching the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really like so. And one of the funny things is you're supposed to collect the 7 rainbow gems, right?
Like the 7 Dragon Balls,
or the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Which, by the way, this is a Sega game. This is a Sega game, and so there was every single color of the rainbow, meaning there were 7 Chaos Emeralds, and so I collected 5 of the 7, pretty much. So I was ready to finish it up.
According to Sega, a mouse can swim better than a hedgehog.
That's true. Because, so, like, there was this moment where Mickey was trapped in this little, like, it was a water level, essentially. Like, it was like a pseudo water level, but, like, the water rises and then it falls, and then it rises and then it falls. And then there was this one moment where, like, you had to reach a ledge, like, all the way at the top, but you have to do it before the water falls, or else you're going to fall all the way back to the bottom, and you have to do it again. And we were doing it, and I noticed that Mickey was, like, not dying by drowning, because he was in the water for a really freaking long time. And I was like, how are you not dead yet? But Sonic dies in, like, a few seconds. Like, you're there for 30 seconds and Sonic dies, which is humanly realistic. But Mickey's in there for like 2 minutes and he's like,
humanly realistic.
I am funny.
He says that?
No.
Okay.
But he makes it off pretty. He does pretty well.
I forgot about that remaster because it got delisted off of a lot of things forever ago, for like a year, I think. It got delisted in 2016, but then it came back like in 2017 sometime. It might have been less than a year, but it was delisted for a while.
Yeah, do you know why?
Why?
I know, I'm asking why.
No, it must have been something with the licensing. It had to have been. It's probably the same thing that happened to the Scott Pilgrim game. That game got delisted, like, way back because the license expired. And it's like, yeah, you can't play that game again unless you bought it initially, which is fucked up.
People didn't feel like renewing it either. Like, they outright, like, acknowledged or that they didn't feel like renewing the license. They just thought, yeah, that's it. We're not gonna put it back up.
Yeah, which is fucked up. That's shit like that is one of the reasons why I wish, I really care about preservation of media in general, not just games. Because, like, yeah, that game, from what I heard, was pretty good overall, and you just can't play it anymore. Like, that's it. It's just gone, unless you bought it.
That looks, honest to God, looks like a really great game, and I always feel like the amazing sprites everywhere, like the quality of them, like the way that they float, like animated and all that, like, I can't experience it. I can only watch it through like YouTube playthroughs and I'm pretty sure there's a way you could probably emulate it, but I'd rather like buy the game and support it.
Yeah, there's probably ways to play it. Like I said, if you know someone who bought it, you can go to their place and they could download it. Because once you buy a game, even if you delete it, you can still re-download it because it's in your purchase history and stuff.
Yeah.
Even if a game gets delisted, like you could still somehow download them, which is nice. But there's that. You could probably, like you said, emulate it in a way, because there are like some working PS3 emulators, if I recall correctly, and stuff like that. And if you really want to look deep, you can maybe see if someone's selling like an Xbox or a PlayStation with the game installed, like on eBay.
Oh yeah.
So I remember some people did that when that Silent Hills demo got delisted. PT, PS4s were selling for like $1,000 if it had PT installed.
Yo, there was a guy that was remaking it from the ground up, and Konami sent him a cease and desist, and also
Yeah.
a invitation to join them.
Wait, they offered him to join him?
Yeah, it's like an intern or something like that,
Oh,
from what I
nice.
remember.
He's probably not working on it anymore. They're probably like, all right, now you're gonna have to make this next pachinko machine for us. Like, there you go.
Sad if that's
Don't
true.
worry about it. Just now you're gonna do this now instead. Making fucking pirate games. But
Nah, but
yeah.
I wanted to say earlier, I'm very impressed with the quality of the game because the way that Mickey animates, like with his like walking animation, where he's just like strutting casually with his arms up in the air, all happily, is like
Really?
That's
Was the song like "Walk My Walk, Talk to Talk" playing in the background? I forgot the name of the song, so I'm just mouthing off random lyrics.
but you could just imagine it in the background though, like. You could tell this wasn't shovelware by any degree. You like this was in caring hands. This whole game.
No, yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was a really fun, like, it was just such a fun game. There was so much
A fun
game. It was really fun. There was a lot of really cool mechanics to it. I don't know, like, I really had a good time playing it, and I can't wait to go back. This week obviously was hell. For those of you that don't know, my computer decided to shit on itself this week, and so, I was unable to stream pretty much, from, like, Wednesday up to, really, today, because today I actually just came back recently from a trip to my local micro center. Check them out. They do not sponsor this video, but they could in the future.
Check them out.
That actually are out there in the United States.
There actually are. Like, I think in other places, if it's not micro center, it's like Fry's Gaming Center or something like that. I had to buy a new SSD and put Windows on it, but my computer is running faster than ever, everybody.
Is it a better SSD than what you had?
Yeah, about a 500 gig. I had a 240 gig. Which
Okay,
now
that's good.
Which now hates its guts.
Rip.
But, you know, it's whatever.
Do you want to? Actually, before we actually do that, just a little update on the meme I was talking about earlier that our friend Mark posted. I have it right here, and it turns out, remember how I said it was that there's a crossover meme between Miles and Sasuke?
This is it?
Yeah, and look how many retweets and likes we got
Oh my
too.
god.
Wow, and you know this guy?
We know this guy personally.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Damn, it's been a long time since I've seen you, Mark.
This
What's
guy
up?
gets like 5,000 like likes and retweets and more than just that, like for a bunch of stuff he posts. I'm surprised for like how far he's come.
That's a really good meme, though. That's a good edit.
Yeah, we met him at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Beyond Time
Bonds Beyond Time.
premiere.
Yeah,
Like
Screening.
10 years ago at this point. Almost 10
at
years
the
ago.
AMP Empire 25 theater we were at the other day to see Brawley.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it was funny. So right after the premiere, Ray and I and Mark and
our
Ray's
friend
Ramon went, and we were all just kind of chilling in the hallway, and some people wanted to trade cards with Ramon because they didn't want to see our shitty cards. They wanted to see his. Because I only brought my one deck, right? And he brought his entire binder, and somebody wanted to trade some cards with him.
Yeah,
And we
Ramon
didn't
used to
really
be
hang out
super-
with Mark, but Mark was sitting right next to us, and
Yeah, we talked with him a lot and we kept in contact. We also
yeah.
we attempted to record a vlog for that way back then, but the footage for that is like long gone. It's like on an old computer.
I'm pretty sure we can find it somewhere.
Are you sure, dude? Because it's like on the very old white computer that I might not have anymore.
I think we'll find something.
God.
Yeah,
You get a
so
time machine,
something that
you know.
I've learned from this entire experience is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm reaching out to you right now and telling you,
back up shit.
back up your bullshit. because it is a serious thing. You never know. Literally, I didn't even I didn't expect this to happen. Just one day, I decided to make things better, and in fact, my computer just started shitting on itself. On that note, everybody, please back up your stuff. It honestly, it saves you hours and it saves you time. At least the most important things, like if you could care to lose your memes in anime porn, like that's on you. You know, if you can care to lose that, that's fine.
Why even live at that point?
And also back up your backups.
Yes.
Not even going to do that.
He's right though.
By the way, I wanted to mention there's another big meme that I almost forgot about that's going around. It's mostly a Japanese meme though, which is pretty cool to see, where people are drawing characters smashing the like and retweet button on Twitter. This is one of Berserker from Fate.
I thought that was, I legit thought that was Broly for a second.
No, that's Berserker. It does kind of look like Broly in a bit, but yeah, it's most. Oh, what were you gonna say?
So he has a little bit of the green on one of his hands.
Oh yeah, because that's the retweet button, and the red is like the like button for on Twitter and all. That's why it's green and red. But it's mostly drawn with like cute characters, like cute girls slamming it down all happily. But this is a cool one where it's literally like a really strong character just destroying it.
Does Google have a night mode?
Google itself, I'm not sure. I know YouTube has a night mode.
You know, so I actually did want to talk about that for a second. I love night modes. And let me tell you why.
I do.
Every time that I find out that there's a night mode, all of a sudden my eyes just stop hurting. And I'm like, wow. I didn't even realize my eyes were hurting. It didn't make any sense to me. My eyes hurt? Really? That's so cool. Not that my eyes hurt.
I was about to say, what? That's so cool. I'm turning blind.
Yeah, no, and so like the other day I just found out that the Twitter on desktop has a night mode, and then my eyes just like I could feel my eye contract, and I was like, oh, my eyes, thank you.
They have that effect on people.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Have you guys ever seen Discord in white mode without the night on?
I really don't think I want to.
It's eye blinding, dude.
Really?
I don't know. Like,
oh, here's the light mode. Oh my god!
I know people who use
I hate using light mode on like pretty much everything. Dark mode all the way.
Dark mode all the way.
Ooh,
man.
edgy.
What do you mean edgy? It just looks pleasing on the eye. What are you talking about?
Depending on your device, it also saves battery life too.
It does actually, because you're not using every single pixel.
You're not using a bright pixel color.
You know, I have to say, so for those of you that want to know, who care to know us, yesterday, actually, it was just yesterday, well, technically 2 days ago, we went to go see Dragon Ball Broly, Super Broly. And this
Dragon Ball Broly Super?
This is also kind of what happened the last time I went to go see a Dragon Ball movie. We went to go see Resurrection F. But like I really felt like I haven't watched a lot of Dragon Ball in a really long time.
Yeah, same.
But like watching that, it was just like, wow, I really can't wait to watch more Dragon Ball. Usually I never follow through, but I mean, at the same time, it did renew my interest in the Dragon Ball franchise. You know,
this movie kind of made me like Dragon Ball again for the first time since like Battle of Gods.
Yeah,
like nothing's been really too interesting. It's just been like Tournament of Power and like just everyone's just fighting and punching each
there's
other.
Black
Like,
Goku also.
How far do you get past like Super Saiyan God? Like, how do you make the story more
Ultra Instinct, bro?
Bro, that's like not even something he can use manually. So like, why? What makes you say that a transformation where he can just basically, he's on autopilot, basically, if you don't know what Ultra Instinct is. Like, he's able to dodge and avoid every attack in, like, fancy the style animation. But, like, that just makes it boring at that point, don't you think? Like, if it's not taking any actual sort of damage, or not, there's no more flaws to try to overcome.
Yes.
That's why I think there's an actual risk of Goku and Vegeta like not winning unless they do what they need to do. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't know if we want to go into spoilers. So
They gotta do what they gotta do.
Well, okay,
South Park
so
reference.
something that definitely was going through my head.
Basically.
Yeah. Something that was going through my head when I was watching it, and I was trying to ask Isaac, I was just like, dude, what form of Super Saiyan is that? Because, like, after a long...
Why would Isaac know?
I asked him, and he gave me an answer.
Are you gonna talk about this?
What? Oh, he said... So, obviously, if y'all haven't even seen the like, this is on the cover art, or the movie poster art. Check it out, because it takes you 3 seconds to look that shit up, just saying. So, I'm not spoiling anything. Anyways, there was a bunch of Super Saiyan, like, there's a bunch of Super Saiyan forms, and in my head I'm thinking, god damn, it is really hard to keep track of all that. There's Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and then Super Saiyan 4, which, by the way, is only featured in Dragon Ball GT, and then there's... So what was it?
But that's not canon anyway.
It's not canon? Oh, right, yeah, no, they're all not canon.
I like how this is a revelation. That's not canon.
It's like, wait, didn't we talk about this in the comic store? Yeah, I told you that GT isn't canon.
Right, but I thought you were kidding.
No.
Because we were making jokes about how how Dragon Ball Z wasn't canon, GT wasn't canon, Kai isn't canon, Super isn't canon.
That wasn't... No, Lawrence, that was me, and that was a joke.
That was Ray, first of all, and that was while we were in the theater. I mentioned that GT wasn't canon in the comic store when you were talking about how GT was your favorite, and I was like, it's not canon anymore, right?
Oh, right, because Super kind of supersedes that. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was non-canon even before Super was a thing.
Wait, really?
Just to clarify...
Wait, why is it not canon?
Hang on, I want to talk about
this. Because people don't like it, I think. That's one of the reasons.
Just to clarify for the audience, and I actually posted a picture of this the other day. I was confused the other day because I was, looking some stuff up in preparation for, like, when I eventually do go see the movie. And I was trying to see, like, well, is Dragon Ball Super the anime canon, or is Dragon Ball Super the manga canon? Because they're both going on at the same time, but the thing is that the manga right now for Super is more so adapting what the anime does, and the anime is supposed to allegedly be the main canon now from the original Dragon Ball non-Super manga.
So at this point, what's canon?
Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
That's why I put it into Google, and then the first thing, because you know how Google usually does this like auto search for an answer thing, where the first result that comes up, it's in a white box, and it shows what could be the answer to your question.
Yes.
It brought up something that some random person posted in a Dragon Ball forum, where someone asked the same question: is Dragon Ball Super anime or manga canon? And that response was basically, no, neither the Dragon Ball Super anime or manga are canon. In addition, the Dragon Ball original anime, original manga, Dragon Ball Z, GT, video games, trading card games, action figures, everything, it is all not canon. Nothing is canon, nothing exists. There is nothing in Dragon Ball.
So what's canon then? What?
That totally answered my question.
Great.
Wait, so Super isn't canon? I thought the big deal with this Broly movie was that this is finally making Broly canon, because the other Broly movies aren't canon. They never were, if I recall correctly. So everyone's like, oh, Broly's finally canon now with this movie. So now you're saying, nah, he's not. Super was never canon.
So you're telling me none of this shit is canon?
Alright, just to be clear, the anime, from what I've been able to find out from other reliable sources, is the canon source right now.
Okay, so
The manga's technically not canon because it does things differently from the anime, and it's not. It's supervised by Toriyama, but it's not written by him. But on the other hand, the anime is.
Wait, so Dragon Ball Super is canon?
Dragon Ball Super, the anime, is the canon material. Like, basically, if you want to talk canon, the manga for the original Dragon Ball series, from original up until Z, that's canon. The manga version, at least, not the original anime. And Dragon Ball Kai can't be considered canon either because the fact that it cut around further, but there's still stuff allegedly that contradicts what happens in the manga.
Are you serious? It's a revised version of the original anime. What do you mean?
Yeah, but they cut shit out. That's the thing.
It's fucking confusing. I understand, but it is what it is. Like,
it's confusing. Yeah, you're not wrong.
First, because I don't have time to read the manga. I would rather watch the Dragon Ball Kai anime anyway.
Yeah, no, but here's my problem. Somehow Dragon Ball Z Kai is in its own fucking universe, but it is the same exact thing as the original anime, just cut! It is literally Diet Dragon Ball Z!
And Lawrence, get this. You know those movies that we
watched? But wait, there's more.
Battle of Gods and Revival of F, where they debuted Super Saiyan God and bring back Frieza?
Yes.
Those movies, while originally said to be canon when they first came out, are no longer canon. Like, the Dragon Ball Super anime decided to make 2 dedicated to those movies, basically stretching them out by several dozens of episodes and adding and taking away shit that wasn't in the original movie. Which, by the way, those movies in animation quality-wise are way fucking better, and pacing-wise too. So, like,
wait, so that Resurrection F movie with Barris isn't canon?
It is technically not canon, but the events of it are retold and
wait, like, they retool it? And what about Resurrection F? Did they do the same thing there?
Same thing, but the thing is that they pad it out, they add stuff, and they take away stuff that didn't make sense in the movie. But as a result, because it's a weekly anime that airs in Japan, that's why we got that shitty animation screenshots that I'm pretty sure you guys have seen.
Yeah, I've seen them. I know exactly what you're talking about.
God,
but the movies look way better in comparison visually.
Well, yeah, because they're movies. They have higher budget.
Exactly.
Okay. Like, at this point, I want to make it clear now.
But yeah, the Super anime is the main canon right now.
The Dragon Ball live-action movie is not canon either.
Well, yeah, no shit. That was made in America.
I'm sorry, I had to.
The Dragon Ball Evolution PSP game is not canon either.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, okay, none of the games were, but...
Even though apparently that's a really good game and it's better than the fucking movie because it uses the Budokai engine.
Wait, which game?
The Dragon Ball Evolution game on the PSP, which is... apparently it uses the Budokai engine, from what I remember.
I like the Budokai engine because...
It's actually better than the movie.
Yeah. So one of my favorite games growing up, because, my friend, that one guy, Gavin, that we knew, one of the games he was a big Dragon Ball Z Naruto fan. And one of the games that he wanted me to get so that we could play, because he had a Wii at the time, was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. And 3 for the Wii.
I still remember the commercials for those, like, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, now available on the Wii.
It was so good. I loved playing those games because, first off, the animation was great. And I love that you can literally... you can pretty much explore the stage as much as you want, right? And you could even, like, burst into buildings or something like that. Which was really fun. That was just like... What?
At least until you hit one of the invisible walls, which are actually...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you can pretty much, like... I used to always, play as Broly. Because... Who didn't play as Broly growing up, Like, they thought he was the most powerful,
I mean, I thought he always was. Ever. Didn't in the movie, didn't Goku even say that he's stronger than Beerus?
I don't think he's stronger than Beerus.
Well,
Goku said it, though.
the current version of Broly, but the original version was
Wait, the current version of Broly is stronger than Beerus?
Goku thinks he is.
Oh, okay. He thinks.
Okay, so he thinks. We don't know yet.
Okay, thank God. Oh, thank God.
He didn't know for a second. Wow.
I was like, wait, what? What do you mean, Beerus? Beerus is a freaking destroyer god.
If we're talking like every Dragon Ball character ever before Dragon Ball Super came out, I think the original Broly was probably the most powerful super villain they've ever had to deal with, because they had to fuse and all that and team up basically to defeat him. Like if Goku or Vegeta just went in solo, they're not going to beat him.
Yeah, you know,
That's how.
I find it interesting how Beerus is essentially the one, like, you know, the one character that Goku really, like, is like a real matchup, you know, because and like he actually can't beat him, you know, because Beerus is like, you know, destruction god, right?
Yeah.
And like he just can't beat him, but I think that's really cool. And I think even at the same time it's like, if you think about it, that kind of means that Whis is more powerful actually than even Beerus.
Yeah.
Right?
You know who's more powerful than Beerus and Broly, though? Shaggy.
Like Zoink Soob.
Like, I'm only using 2% of my power, man.
Like...
He just said like and stop.
Like... But yeah, no, I really like... I find it really just honestly very interesting. But I also hate how every time...
I gotta cut you off for just a quick second.
He's Kanye Westing you guys.
I'll let you get back to that right now, but like another meme I wanted to point out is the Shaggy memes where like they take the live action Shaggy in Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah.
I like the meme where like it looks like it's a director's behind the scene thing that you would see on a Scooby-Doo DVD, and then the subtitles is like, yeah, they wanted to see which one of us would be the best actor to portray Shaggy in this movie, and when I put on the shirt, I was the only other actor who survived, and that's how I got the role. There's all these memes of like
Shaggy. I know exactly. Yeah, I remember those. I remember those. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a lot of memes where they like edit, where they like put text over like screenshots of, I guess, like directors behind the scenes on those live action Scooby-Doo movies. And my favorite one, I think, is when like Fred talks about how Shaggy just walks into the set one day and announces that he killed God. And it's just like, oh God. Oh no. Oh,
there's
man.
another Fred like being photoshopped over All Might from My Hero Academia. It's like only one person can stop Shaggy, and it's Fred. Oh,
man.
Geez.
So to I guess when Lawrence comes back, but
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
he had to. He'll be back in like a second. But
okay.
What I was wondering is they redid Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F for Dragon Ball films in Dragon Ball Super. Are they gonna redo Broly, even though it's part of Super?
You know what? I thought about that earlier today. I honestly, God, hope they don't actually fucking do that shit.
You imagine, nah, that movie we made for this series, it's gone. It's not canon anymore.
Like we just made this, but it actually doesn't fucking matter.
So did you hear what I said? I'm wondering, like, are they gonna redo the Broly movie in the actual TV show, even though the Broly movie is part of Super?
You know, probably.
I really hate, like, because I mean, to be fair, at the time, they say these movies are part of the canon, so I can't fault them for that initially. But then it makes me feel a weird way when later on they say, "Oh no, that's no longer canon, but this is now." And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I just wasted my time seeing something that I got so excited for, and now it's no longer technically part of the story. Like this version of it, anyway.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to fully enjoy? Like, do I just skip the first 2 arcs of Dragon Ball Super? Do I just watch it all over again?
It's so dumb. Like I get that they alter it and they make it what?
If it's like a what if kind of thing, like if Spider-Man growing 4 extra arms, or like joining the Fantastic Four. You know, those kind of non-canon stories, I'm totally down for because I like seeing what-if scenarios. But like, if you're making something that was previously canon, non-canon, unless it was bad to begin with, then like, what's the point? Why did you make it?
That's true.
Like, if you're not going to be satisfied with it 10 years later, you know, I feel like you would probably not like it from the start to some degree.
It's so annoying. So fucking annoying. Fucking 90% of Dragon Ball is not canon now. Great.
I'm sorry for the side rant, by the way. It's just,
No, but like, wait, hold on. What about... Are you telling me the original Dragon Ball is not canon, right?
Yeah.
Where Goku's a kid.
Well, that's canon, but like...
It is canon. Only the manga version. Only the manga version.
Only the manga version.
Okay, wait.
Unless you want to go into the anime and put it in Premiere Pro and just cut out everything that was not in the
That's kind of what I think of when I'm thinking about, like, when I'm thinking about what's canon. I am literally thinking of all of this on a Premiere Pro timeline. And literally, all I'm seeing is Akira Toriyama with the razor blade tool and the ripple delete button. And going, whoop, whoop, just cutting everything and saying, this is all that's canon, and this is what we're going to tell everybody Dragon Ball is about. And it's literally like
also,
the first 10 minutes.
Also, Trunks' hair is blue now because I forgot it was purple.
I'm sorry, what?
That is literally why Trunks' hair is blue now.
Trunks' hair is blue.
It's blue now, not even
What?
Super Saiyan blue. It's actually his base hair color is blue now.
His hair was purple!
Because Toriyama forgot it was purple.
Toriyama!
Are you serious? That's why he forgot? What a bitch!
What?
How do you forget that?
It's on Google Images for fuck's sake.
What the fuck, dude? How do you forget that?
Oh, I think his hair is purple. Nah, it's blue.
Okay, so like, you want to
If he was
let's keep going with Toriyama though, because this is funny. So that's fucking lazy. The fact that he just forgets. Here's some other lazy things he's done. Do you want to know why the Saiyan forms have yellow hair?
Yes, I do, but go
Why?
ahead.
Because
I don't
so
know.
like obviously this is a manga first, right? And with a manga, you know, you have to shade in things. So Toriyama decided to make the Saiyan hair yellow because in manga that would mean it'd be white, which means he wouldn't have to waste time shading. He literally only made the hair yellow so that he didn't have to shade the hair whenever they were Saiyan form fighting. That's why it's yellow.
That's the story
God.
of every like super transformation in any anime. Like someone was just lazy with didn't want to shade anything in.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
I don't wanna.
Why do I gotta? We're sorry.
No, in a way, like if he wanted to conserve ink because maybe he didn't have that much money at that time, I can maybe understand it. But the fact that he didn't
Ray, don't give him that. Don't give it to him.
It is literally creative laziness. That's super.
I fucking love that.
Merchandisable.
Alright, what else? Tell me more. I want to hear more.
More of his laziness?
Yes.
Oh god, so I'm trying to remember more. That's the big one that I will never forget. The fact that he just like, nah, fam. I ain't coloring this hair in. It's yellow now. But I'm trying to remember more. Let me see. Let me try and find some.
What about
jog
Dragon
my
Quest?
memory? Okay, I remember this one. Here's one I remember. I just remembered. So you remember how like Goku originally was drawn with the tail and everything
Beautiful.
at first when he
Yes.
was, you know, in Dragon Ball, like OG Dragon Ball.
I like how he says beautiful. He didn't even finish it. That's how you.
Yeah, I didn't even finish, bitch.
Keep going.
But
no, I'm saying beautiful because I'm just like I already want to know what this is about.
okay, so if you remember,
Oh.
there's a story in how it gets cut. His tail gets cut off, and the only reason that story was made because Toriyama got annoyed having to constantly draw the tail, so he made a story where it got cut off. He never had to draw it again.
Why?
Fucking, oh my god.
Wait,
Oh.
I forget. How did it gets cut off? Someone cuts it off with a sword, right?
I think that's how it was, right? Or was that Vegeta when Vegeta was fighting Goku?
I think it was Yajirobe, because he turned into a great ape.
Oh yeah, right. And he does use the sword. He does.
But
use
yeah.
the
And
sword,
then they
right?
do it, Vegeta comes to Earth.
Yeah, fuck. He literally makes a story where he gets cut off so that he doesn't have to draw it anymore.
God. You know, I don't know. I will be honest.
come-
I really like GT, and I really do.
Did he even work on GT?
That's probably
Yo,
why
actually-
he decanonized it.
I'm sorry. Guys, hang on. I'm sorry. I have to derail it for a sec because I just remembered.
Breaking news.
When Nappa and Vegeta came to Earth, they had their tails wrapped around their bodies. It wasn't extended out like Goku's. Now I know why.
Oh,
wanted to-
So,
God.
question: were there? I'm looking around on Amazon for Dragon Balls, and like, were they ever blue?
Their hair?
No, the Dragon Balls.
I know there were Black Star Dragon Balls, but they were never crystal blue. No.
Like crystal blue, yeah, crystal blue Dragon Ball, like that. That's what I'm saying.
Send a screen cap of this. Let me see.
Yeah,
Also, what were you guys saying about GT?
I liked it a lot.
Although he said, I liked it! I didn't really like it. Well, damn, was that a cough or were you laughing at me not liking it?
No, I'm sick. Sorry, guys, if you guys can tell, but
Oh, okay. But no, I mean, from what I hear, in Japan it's definitely not popular. I think overseas it's a bit more popular, but yeah, it's not really canon anymore, and no one really. I mean, it's a
Majority
It's-
of fans.
it's a memory of the past at this point.
Yeah. That was really a product that Toei Animation made, with some like advising from Toriyama, because obviously, like, you know, it's even if he is not directly involved in it, it's still his product, so he's still like just helping out with like some plot lines and character designs and all that. So like he still oversaw it, but it's not exactly part of the manga timeline and all that. Even though it's at least fondly remembered enough to keep coming back in the form of like merchandise and video game appearances. So there is
Yeah.
that.
no. And I'll be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
I like the GT. I like Super Saiyan 4. Honestly, of all the Super Saiyan forms, that is my favorite. Super Saiyan 4. I like the look. I like he has this like evil glare to him, like this evil look to him. It looks good, and obviously it makes sense because he comes from it comes from child Goku and he becomes like hot Goku, you know, like tall, grown up hot Goku with red clothes. Like it looks so good. That is the reason why I like GT. That and I like the story. The story is good. I like Pam a lot. She's really cool. I like the robot. What's his name? Oh, forgot his name. It's been a long time since I watched GT. The robot, the little piece of shit.
Yes.
I'm not sure, dude.
Yes. This narrows it down very well.
It begins with
Unless
a
you're
G,
talking
though.
about Toriyama self-insert.
I do remember. It begins with a G.
Gogeta.
No. Oh, yeah, and, like, Tiny Trunks, too, right?
Tiny Trunks. Sounds like a toy that they advertise on commercials.
Trunks was
Dutch
there, right?
Trunk-
Tiny Trunks? Was
Not
he
Tiny
tiny,
Trunks.
or he was tall?
Tall Trunks.
Huh?
I don't know if it was future Trunks or the present timeline Trunks, but Tall Trunks was there.
Okay. Alright. And they all kind of went together.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
I'm looking at these blue Dragon Balls right now, and I've never seen these anywhere.
I've never seen them either. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
the
I
file
know.
name. Blueballs.png. But yeah, in general, they look kind of cool. But like, yeah, I've never seen the actual series, unless there's some game this is from that I'm missing out on.
Yeah. My favorite, like, supporting character I think of all time from Dragon Ball is Puar. Honestly, the cutest thing ever.
Oh, that's Yamcha's friend, right?
No, that's Yes, I think so.
The
I
little
was
cat
thinking
guy.
I was thinking of God, I forget all their names. Their names are so confusing because there are just so many characters. The kid, the guy with the mime.
Oh, Chaozu.
No. I know Chaozu, but I don't know the what's his name? Tien. Yeah, Tien with the third eye. Right.
Yeah,
I confuse their names. They don't look alike, but I confuse their names. Right. I think it is Yamcha's friend, though.
Right.
I mean, I don't blame you because, like, it wasn't until, like, Revival of F where they really got some time to shine again.
Yeah, right. And that's the reason why I liked Resurrection F. It gave people, like, Super Saiyaman! And,
that was easily the best part of the movie. Just everyone, including Roshi and, like, Krillin and everyone just getting a chance to, like, beat the shit out of Frieza's men in the beginning.
Yeah, no, that was probably the reason why I like that film a lot. Out of all the Dragon Ball films, and I've seen pretty much most of them, I want to say, he was, like, I don't know, Resurrection F was really, like, honestly my favorite. It was well made.
Oh man, your ride's here.
Rip. Also, funny enough, that movie features my favorite voice actor of all time, Todd Haberkorn. He played Jacko. The patrolman, yeah, who now has his own manga, which is great.
Yeah, he was a manga.
Like, I think everyone just liked him a lot. He just has a lot of, like, gusto.
Yeah, Toriyama created, like, a spin-off. I mean, I'm not sure if that's canon, but, I mean, it exists, so if you want more of him, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask, so what is canon in Dragon Ball then?
By the way, the little robot is Giru. There we go. That was the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
The original Dragon Ball manga is the primary canon. Then, the Super anime that just finished with the Tournament of Power of that is part of that manga continuity, just animated. And then Dragon Ball Super Broly is not part of that. I am not sure if there's anything else I'm missing, but as far as I'm aware, everything else is just whatever.
Imagine in a year they're like, nah, shit, man. That Broly movie we made, it's no longer canon, bro.
We're gonna redo the Broly movie, even though it's already part of Super.
We're sorry.
About the other two movies. We're sorry. But thanks for your money. But
thank you.
But yeah, the Dragon Ball Super manga though, that's 'cause you know how there was like a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX manga and they had
it was
like
very different. Yeah, same with the 5Ds manga and basically every manga for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-off manga going forward after that, like they were all different from the anime to a point where basically the anime became the new main canon at that point. But,
yeah, which is a shame because I hear the GX manga is better than the anime.
Wait, is the GX manga still going?
No, it ended forever ago, dude.
Oh, thank
Bruh, what?
I did hear that the manga did do Chaz better than the
Good.
anime itself.
Chaz it up.
God, there were times
Chaz
I really
it
hated
up.
Chaz.
What? I loved Chaz. Chaz was the best part of that show to me.
Before we go into video though, I just want to say the reason why I bring those mangas up though is because that's basically what the Super manga is for Dragon Ball. Right?
It's like it's differing to the anime, so the anime is like the main continuity and everything.
See,
basically the only reason why it exists is just for consistency, so that there's like a manga counterpart to the anime. Even though the anime is running at the same time as the manga, and it's supposed to air first before then.
God, really?
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
even gotten to
and
a
this
point
is
where
why I like Fairy Tail.
Like with The Walking Dead.
This is why I like Fairy Tail because, and I was showing Eric this when we were at not Kino, when we were at
I thought you were about to say Key and Peele. Yeah, we were like Key and Peele.
book off.
Yeah.
And
You're showing me Lucy's feet. They were
I was
lovely.
showing him all of the fairy tale manga, and I was like, "This is where we're at in the anime."
I like that he
right?
knew everything too.
Like, I was just like, "Yeah, this is exactly where we're at," and I found the exact chapter, and I looked at all the events. I'm like, "Wow, this is almost exactly what is being shown to us on TV." Like, maybe there's like, or rather on whatever anime streaming service you use or pirate network. You know, it's up to you. But every time I watch it, I'm like, wow, this is really faithful to the manga. I've never actually read most of the manga, but I know that, like, I'm confident enough after, like, whenever I skim through the manga that everything that happens in the manga happens in the show. You know, maybe the dialogue might be slightly different, but they still capture the same exact, like feeling. They capture the same exact, like,
Fan
the
service.
gist of it. And the fan service is big, you know, always. And, you know, there are a few filler episodes which I find fun. They're cute. Like,
Filler can be fine, honestly.
Yeah, it is. And, like, but, you know, it just depends. It also depends on how much filler, right? If we go back to Naruto, I'm telling you, you can narrow it down to like 30 episodes is the entire story.
That's fucking funny you mentioned that. I have a segue for this, but you can continue first.
So Naruto, I can literally narrow I was trying my best to honestly get through Naruto because I wanted to actually get into it. This was my freshman year of college.
I don't want to rag on Naruto and One Piece, but Toei Animation, at least for One Piece, and I don't know who animates Naruto, but they fucking drag their arcs out so fucking long. You can go ahead, by the way.
I forget who did it, but I know that it was on Neon Alley back in the day. Like when it was on Hulu, so it wasn't on like Netflix. Which is, you know, there was that sharing deal that like certain anime will go to Netflix, certain anime will go to Hulu.
It's the whole thing.
Right, and so the people that did the anime was Pyro? I don't know.
Studio
Pyro?
Like the Team Fortress character, Pyro?
I don't know how to say it. Piero. They did
Is there
Bleach,
a T at the
Naruto.
end?
Yeah. They did
okay,
Bleach,
then
Naruto,
I know who you're talking
Yu Yu
about.
Hakusho, Tokyo Ghoul, Beelzebub.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyways, I was trying to get into it, and I was like, God, like, this is not even necessary. Why am I watching this? And it was true. There was no reason for me to be, like, to watching certain things. Like, I was watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, this has nothing to do with the actual story. God, stop this. And
so
I can actually narrow the anime down to like 50 episodes, maybe 100 episodes. Like, I could be okay with that. But there's 600 episodes. Like, no, sorry.
Like,
I don't think there's 600. Wait, there is. Okay. Yeah, so there are 220 for the original anime and 500 episodes for the Shippuden.
God damn. Yeah, watch all 720, sure.
Good luck.
I'll forgive filler if it actually, even if it means nothing in the grand scheme of the story, I'll at least forgive filler if it's either fun or if it provides some sort of development for the characters. Like if it, you know, if it gives a chance to like have character A meet character B, spend a whole day with them, and then they learn something from it or they improve as a character from the experience. Like that kind of filler, I fucking eat up. But if it's just filler that's just wasting time and just dragging itself out and that it's not really part of anything, then what's the point, honestly?
Like some of the filler from Fairy Tail is like exploring.
But then the manga people need to stop being slow.
Yeah, and it's like some of the filler in Fairy Tail explores like Natsu and Happy's like past, like when he was a kid, or it explores Zeref and his past, or Mavis's past, or things like that. That's really important, but like they don't really go into it too much in the manga. Like they go into it in their own way, right? You know, there was a whole Fairy Tail Zero and stuff like that. But like they also adapted Fairy Tail Zero, which I really liked, you know. But like that's my thing though. Like they captured how to do filler pretty well. Like they're just like, oh yeah, these people are gonna go on a job, or we get to learn about some background character that we always see, but we find out how really important to the guild they are, but then we never knew from the beginning that they were really important. Because they were just there, and they're just, like, serving drinks or something like that. But it turns out they're, like, one of the first guild members or something like that. None of this is spoiler. I don't really, like, I can't go back and actually tell you the name or what was going on with that character, because we are already 300 episodes into Fairy Tail. That was 2015.
He keeps wanting me to get into Fairy Tail, and I'm like, bro, I'm sure it's not bad, but, like... That's a lot of episodes you want me to catch up with. Right, but it's not that... But, like, see... But there's a difference between, like, catching up with Fairy Tail and catching up with Naruto. Okay, yeah, it's still a lot. I think I would legitimately, like, rip all of my hair out, strand by strand. And still have to... Like, per episode, I'd rip out one piece of hair. And I feel like I would be bald and still have at least 100 episodes left to go. One Piece is longer than Naruto right now, and it's not done.
Okay, well, Naruto technically isn't done, because they have Boruto.
Yeah, but that's like a sequel.
But, like, you need to know things from Naruto.
But it's a sequel. Obviously, you need to know things from Naruto. Yo, why do I have to watch Spider-Man 1 to understand Spider-Man 2? What the fuck?
I'm gonna start off on Boruto first.
Yeah.
Alright, Eric, you were gonna say something about filler?
Oh no, I was gonna mention, yeah, you keep saying it's like, Eric, come on, you gotta get into Fairy Tail, man. Lucy, Urza, do it. And I'm like, I would actually like to, maybe one day, but that's too many episodes, man.
That's not that much.
It's a lot for a guy like me.
Alright, but like 12, like, that's kind of the reason why I like 12-episode animes, but also why I really hate them. Because I want more. Sometimes.
Sometimes they do get more.
And sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they do.
Like,
we keep going.
You know, like...
Well, it's because... Well, here's the thing, though.
Is a great example.
Here's the
thing.
They're
still going with the manga.
Wait, the manga's still going for that?
Did you not see that new thing that we saw
I didn't think that was a new issue,
No, it's
bro.
a new issue. They're still going. No, dude.
What? Okay, I looked it up. The light novel for Haganai ended. The manga is still going, you're right.
Yeah, the manga's still going. But, so yeah, that's still going. New Game is still going, but the problem with New Game is that they, they're not gonna make, at least for now, they're not gonna make a season 3 because they've already caught up to the source material. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they've rushed. I feel like maybe they rushed it. Because there is 60 chapters or something like that. There are a lot of chapters. Right, and it's usually when it comes to manga episodes, it's like a chapter per episode, right? Or 2 chapters per episode. But they managed to cram it all down to 24 episodes for New Game. And they're still going with the manga, but they ran out of source material. And that's why people are saying they're probably not going to do season 3, because by the time that they finally have enough source material to do a season 3, it would have been already a really long time since then. And that's kind of like what I hate about like really short animes, is like you love them, they're short and sweet, but you want more sometimes, you know? And that's a big thing for me. Like whenever I watch Haganai or when I watch New Game, those are animes that I really enjoyed, that every second of that has had some sort of effect on my life, you know? Like, New Game, like, it made me want to explore, like, how really to make a game, you know? And how to do that using coding, and, like, what programs to use, and that's why it was a really cool anime. And Haganai, you know, Toes and whatnot, Senna, like... And like there was
that caught me off guard.
There was like, I mean, they're playing video games like Vita. One of my favorite things is that I was literally just scrolling through Facebook, and they were making fun of a Monster Hunter thing. And this was in the second episode of the anime, but they were making fun of Monster Hunter because all the characters play like a Monster Hunter game. And
didn't we see this episode?
Yeah, the second episode.
I think we saw that, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they transport, pretty much, this is all just, like, imagination, but all the characters show up in the Monster Hunter world, and, one of the girls, like, blows up the other because there's this, like, ongoing rivalry between the two of them. And it was really funny because it was like, I never played Monster Hunter, but I think that was a really cute scene, and I thought it was really funny. And so that's part of the reason, like, that I like it, because it's kind of relatable in that way. And it does kind of, like, tug at you, just like, hey, watch some more Haganai, there's more fan service. It's really fun. And that's the reason why I'm not really, like, I love short animes, like 12 episodes, 24 episodes, but I hate them at the same time because I always want more.
Well, here's the thing, though. Sometimes they're only written with 1 or 2 seasons in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, obviously, when it's a manga adaptation, yeah, there are manga adaptations that literally stop, like, 1 or 2 seasons in, and the rest doesn't get adapted, and I can understand that. But when it's, like, an original show that's only envisioned for, like, 1 season, I think it's a little unfair to be like, nah, give me more. It's like, but the story's finished. Nah, give me more.
No, well, okay, like, if it
make something up.
If it does end, well, when I say I hate them is because it's usually whenever there's still more, right?
Okay, that's understandable.
Right.
You were saying you didn't mention that, so I was like, are you just saying you just want everything to continue forever?
No. Like, there are some animes that I've watched that were, like, 12 episodes long, and I was like, okay, that was the end of it, I guess. Like, Konosuba is also, like, one of them, right? They're still creating more, but it's such an entertaining show. They came out with a dub, and they're obviously the original was subbed, and everyone loved the sub. It was fun, and that is one of those animes that I did enjoy. There's another one actually that just came out. I'm not sure if it's getting a second season. What's it called? Let me see if I can find it. Violent Evergarden.
Oh yeah, that's by KyoAni, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, the main character reminds me a lot of Saber. Just saying.
She looks like Saber.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She has the same colors and everything. She's blonde. But anyways, that is, like, something that I know is short and sweet. I'm not sure they're going to make more than, like, 13, 14 episodes, but all of the episodes are on Netflix. You guys should go check it out. I haven't watched it yet, but everyone loves it. This is something that, like, I know, like, prominent anime YouTubers like Gigic and a few others have already talked about and said, like, this is one of the best animes of 2018. And so, you know, next to Devilman Crybaby, Devil Crybaby Man, you know, I don't care. I heard it was really good, but I'm not gonna go ahead and watch
Devilman Crybaby? Yeah, that was on Netflix, wasn't
Devil
it?
Baby Cryman, yes, or something like that.
What? Devilman Crybaby. I said it, and then you literally decide to mess it up later.
Devilman.
Oh boy.
Devil
All right.
Baby Cryman episode 9-2.
No, that's the funny. That's the joke about it. Everyone likes
now
switch.
on Wii U.
Everyone loves to switch around the title because it's so like it's so random. Devilman Crybaby. But yeah, no, Violent Evergarden. You know, I think we should all check it out. I think it's a really well written, apparently well written light novel, but also a well written anime. Very beautiful visuals, and this is like very modern 2018 anime. Compared to what we get and what we used to get with Sailor Moon back in the 90s, you know? Which is really interesting if you think about it, right? That, like, anime has really, like, transformed since it first originated with things like Speed Racer or Sailor Moon.
Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer. Go.
Or even those Japanese live action shows where I already forgot the guy's name, but where he fights Godzilla.
King Kong.
Yeah, true. No, the guy in the costume suit. I forgot his name.
Oh,
like
Ultraman or whoever?
It was Ultraman? Maybe? That was like very like well, kinda. But it was the guy in the red in like a red suit, like silver head.
That's Ultraman, I think.
Is it? Or is it just one of the Ultramans? Oh
You wanna
yeah,
look
yeah.
it
This
up?
is it is Ultraman. Okay. Yes, Ultraman.
Yeah, there was a scene of him shaking Godzilla's hand and everything. It was
Yeah.
like, all right, let's go. And then Godzilla just has this confused face on.
And like that was like almost original kind of anime because like that was pretty much what they were doing. They had but they had a guy in a costume fight
Yeah,
fight
Super
another
Sentai.
costumed guy in a Godzilla costume, but they like made it look real.
Before they realized they could make this into cartoons,
Right.
They used to film it live action.
And that's why they had Voltron and they had Gundam and stuff like that. Well, there was another one that was like in the 90s and 80s. It was like syndicated in like Asia heavily. It was about like it was giant robots. Like that was a big thing of like Japanese anime like back in like the 1900s. It was mostly like robots, giant dragons, and some maybe like a superhero.
Gundam, Voltron,
Yeah.
basically all the Super Sentai robots.
And now we get cute girls with feelings. And
White blood
fuck your blood cells.
Oh, that anime, yeah.
That's fun. I think that's fun. Not to fuck your blood cells. I mean to the actual like the actual anime. I heard it's really good.
And the concepts of your feelings.
I do like it is really interesting to consider how far we've already come in anime. Even in the last 10 years we've made some pretty violent strides in anime. I mean,
I just gotta say, like, a couple things. Like, first of all, I love how, and it's funny because these two actually relate back to each other in a sort of weird way. But it's funny how Japan has pretty much evolved for the better in terms of like animation quality. But for us in America, it just went like a complete 180, and now we're just making a bunch of like shitty animated shows right now. Like, not all of them on the air right now are shit, but like compared to like how many good animated anime there are right now in Japan, it outnumbers it, which is pretty weird to think about. And the other thing I wanted to say is that it's funny that you bring that up because a trend I noticed the other day from a friend who pointed it out to me is that for some reason Japan doesn't like gore. And there was actually a video, I think, from Censored Gaming talking about how Mortal Kombat will never come to Japan because of how gory the game is. And as it turns out, despite the fact that some anime have reached through the creeks with its goriness, gore isn't really like it isn't really accepted as well as it is in America, where we have gory shit all the time in movies and video games.
Yeah,
and all that.
it's different in certain countries. Like in America, we really shy away from like sexual stuff. In Japan, they don't care.
About to say that.
Yeah.
Like in America, like we don't, for some reason, like in a Fire Emblem game, we feel the need in a T-rated game to censor bikini shots and just relatively tame stuff that you think kids would probably censor in their anime. But like with Japan, they're all about the sexual stuff, but none of the gore. But
I think it's the same. I think it's the same way in other countries too. Like I think in Australia, it's the same way where they're mostly fine with like sexual stuff, but it's violence that they're like not really for. Yeah. It's so weird. Like it's because I remember I made the comparison. I made the example of like Walking Dead. Apparently, like seeing someone's guts being ripped out and eaten by a zombie, A-okay, but that show cannot show a tit. It can't. Like that's going too far. Apparently, not the guts being pulled out of someone's stomach. That it's a tit. That's going too far. Nice. But then with Japan, it's the opposite. It's like nah, we can't have gore. Like we don't do gore at all. But they'll absolutely put as much fan service as they want in their shows. It's probably why anime, out of probably everything else, has the most fetish content out there. Like for everything, like lolly, like, armpit, feet, everything.
But how does something like Attack on Titan slip through the cracks?
I don't know. I guess it's just certain things.
One of those rare exceptions, like that and Berserk, is like Because you
There
know
are exceptions, yeah.
but there's not too many of them.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, they're like every
There's
time
not
I
a
watch.
lot.
Let me just say, every time I watch the Karen Kyokai movies, I literally sometimes have to freaking wince because I look and I'm like, oh, this guy just got his arms ripped off. Lit. You know, like
Yeah, it's fucked up. Japan occasionally does have some like messed up content and stuff like that, but yeah,
I mean, yeah,
it's
they're the originators of the Grudge Girl, pretty much like the stereotypical Grudge Girl.
Some of those gory anime in Japan, they usually have that shit happen off camera, or they minimize it.
yeah. I mean, like with you mentioned Fate, and the most gory Fate is undoubtedly Zero because it's made by Urabochi, otherwise known as Urabocher, because he likes killing his characters and stuff like that. I'm not joking. Like, look up his Wikipedia page, and it literally mentions his work contains nihilistic themes, tragic twists, and heavy usage of gore. it's like, yeah, they're not joking. And yeah, Zero is the most messed up entry in probably all of Type Moon, even with like Karen no Kyokai's violence that has like heavy gore. And it gets to a point where, like, I remember I showed you guys way back, like, a pic of the manga for Zero, where it shows one of the main characters who's a serial killer who targets mostly children, and he's literally has a little girl's guts spilled out onto the table and messing with it. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, like, messing with the guts, and the only reason the little girl is alive is because his servant is keeping her alive with magic. So she's literally there suffering as he's playing with her guts. And it's like, yeah, that's really fucked up and gross. And that's one of those rare occasions where it's like they're okay with gore. Like, that guy just loves putting gore in his stuff, and that's one of those like rare Japanese things that you'll find.
Beautiful.
I rambled a bit there, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
On the subject of fetishes.
What?
Okay, there is a gore fetish. That is a thing, but you know, we don't talk about those people.
But yeah, so I don't know. One of those that actually like fun kind of. There is actually an anime that I think takes itself. Like, I don't know, it tries to take it seriously sometimes, but then we just sometimes I don't know. It's so hard to forget that it is a pure ecchi anime too. High School DxD.
Oh, that? Yeah.
There's a real story to it. I've never actually. Okay, let me be clear. I tried to watch the anime.
I got too horny, so I stopped.
I could not even watch most. Like, I watched it, and I was like, ooh, cool. And at the beginning, it didn't take itself seriously. I was like, okay, cool. Girls. And then, like, I realized
there are girls involved.
I realized I was 50 episodes in, and I'm like, wait, there's a story here? Oh, man, what a turn-off. And I stopped watching.
What a turn... I don't want to get invested in the plot. I want to jerk off.
He's not wrong.
God damn.
But yeah.
It's I don't mind the fact that Japan is all about the sexual stuff. I don't mind at all. I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I like
it's funny too
fun.
because like we said, there are some like occasions where there is some like very gory like Japanese shit, but sometimes those don't even end up being super popular. Like, I mentioned Fate Zero, and Fate Zero is super popular like in America, like in the West and everything, but in Japan it's nowhere near as popular as like Stay Night and some of the other entries. And I feel like a part of that is because of just like how nihilistic it is compared to the other entries, and just how dark it is in general.
Yeah, I guess in all fairness, if you had to choose between one of the two genres, which is the one that you would rather live the rest of your life reading, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna choose the one where I get to fuck King Arthur instead.
Nice. I think I absolutely agree. There's another anime that I actually really enjoyed, Agretsuko. I think I talked about this in the last podcast, but
oh yeah, Agretsuko. seen a bit of that, and it's really, really good. And
super cute.
surprisingly,
Oh, the cat one.
She's a fox.
yeah,
The fox one.
Sorry, Red Panda.
She's
animated
fuck
by,
you. You're making me look worse.
Sorry,
Then
I actually thought she was a
the-
fox too for a second. Then I found out she's a red panda.
I was like, cat one. It's fox. Okay, fox one. No, it's a panda. You just gonna keep going? No, it's a cat. It's a jaguar. Fuck. I look bad, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a super cute anime. I don't know.
from Sanrio.
Yeah, it is a Sanrio, and I find it cute because you think it's so innocent and cute and funny, and then all of a sudden, like, first off, the language is, let me tell you, she has the mouth of a sailor, but then also, like, she always goes to the karaoke bar after she gets out of work, and she starts singing heavy metal.
Nice.
Like, this cute little red panda just, like, turns off the cute and goes, "Wah!"
Take out all her stress from the workday.
Yeah, that's how she takes out her stress, but I find that really fun. And they're coming out with a second season, so that's gonna be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
How you know how Netflix has like screensavers if you leave it idle for like a couple minutes? There's one for Agretzko where like you see the cute form of her at first, but then over time like the image of it shifts over, and then behind it you see her heavy metal form.
Oh yeah. I totally remember that. I don't know. There was a lot that I liked about Agretzko. I think there was also a Christmas special, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It was. It seemed really fun.
I heard something in the background.
It was a fun anime. It like there was, like I said, there was a Christmas special, which I really enjoyed, and then I think at the beginning they were like, "Hey guys, I know you all waiting for season 2 of Agretzko, but we're still working on it. It's gonna come out this year, but here's a Christmas special to hold you off until then."
That's
I was just like, wait,
interesting.
what? How is this 30-minute special gonna hold me off to wait for that next season?
Watch it over.
Watch it over and yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You just keep watching it over and over again. Don't ever stop.
Even after Christmas.
Also, I wanted to mention the segue that I mentioned earlier with Naruto. I almost forgot about it, but you guys kept mentioning like filler, and then you mentioned Naruto, and Lawrence kept going on about it. I had a friend of mine from college visit, and we did a bunch of stuff while he was over here. And one of the things we did was like watch some Naruto stuff because he recently started like trying to get into it again and like watching shit. And he talked to me like just about the insane amount of filler. And he mentioned one example that blew my mind, where apparently there was 1 year of Naruto Shippuden that literally only 8 episodes were actually part of the story. The rest were filler.
What?
Like only 8 out of 56, because there's 50. Like, well, is it 56 or 52 weeks in a year? And I'm gonna look that up now because I actually. It's 52, but yeah. So like out of 52 weeks in a year, only 8 of them had like episodes that were part of the story.
You're kidding.
The rest were filler.
Dude.
That's what he told me, and I was like, "You're lying. Like you're exaggerating." It's like, "Nah, I'm not even joking."
They did that same shit with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl at one point, where like in between the 7th and 8th gym badges,
Oh my god,
it was
yes.
an entire year on Cartoon Network every Saturday, just filler episodes.
Are you serious? It was a full year?
It was a drag waiting for Ash to get to the 8th
Right,
gym.
I remember that.
I think I remember that now that I think about it, because I swear there were times in Pokemon where I was like, "Oh my god, just fucking get to the gym already."
He's
Seriously.
like, "No, I'm just gonna go to every other town."
You keep seeing the same fillers backdrop every episode.
It's like, it's so annoying when anime like that just takes forever.
Oh my god.
Some filler is fine when it's used to like develop the characters, like have some cool character interactions, but not when you're like just making it to fill in time.
Yeah,
Literally.
No, man.
the weird thing is that's based on a video game, so there's really no other reason to keep extending it except to like have the anime last the whole generation until the new games come out. And I'm just
Fucking 1 year
you know-
between the 7th and 8th gym. Someone should play the Diamond and Pearl game like the anime, where they wait a whole year before they tackle the 8th gym in the game.
I mean,
It's like, I'm gonna do the
technically-
authentic anime experience.
Technically, within the game, they there's always a distinct pause between the 7th and 8th gym. Like in most of the,
for the
I think
story.
most.
No,
of
but
the
I'm talking like in real time. Like in real time, the anime took a year. So I'm like, all right, someone should do that for the game. In real time, take a year to get to the 8th gym.
Oh no, absolutely.
In the games, they're usually doing the main story where like they're the box art legendary is doing something that's part of the plot, and then you have to go capture them and defeat the evil team that's doing whatever with the region. And then after that, you resume your journey. You get to the 8th gym badge. At least you're doing something important. But like with the anime, they're basically doing a bunch of side quests that don't really mean anything in the grand scheme.
It's
of,
like when. God, it's like
It's
playing
not-
one of those open world games with a million icons on the map when you're like, all right, I'm gonna be here a while.
That
It's
was
not
me
like
during
X-
Spider-Man.
That's me when I played like a fucking Ubisoft game. I'm the type of guy that likes doing side content over main content majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man was a rare exception where I was only doing the main story until I actually unlocked every type of like side mission available. Then I started like tackling it. But like most games, I try and do side missions and side quests and stuff first. But it ends up being a bad thing by the end, because by the time I get back to the main story, I'm like beefed out with some of the best gear in the game, and I'm like, fuck, now the main story is super easy to get through. It's like the recommended level for the next main quest, level 8. I'm level 29 now. It's like, oh god.
I remember that. I'm literally like, I was at one point, I was level 50 before I even finished the story. I'm like, well, rip.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like, I remember I played one game, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, which was a game, fun fact, made by an ex-MLB player. It was an MLB guy who quit to make video games and stuff, and that was the only video game he ended up making because his studio shut down because of bankruptcy. But he was trying to develop an MMO, but that obviously got canned once the studio closed. But that game was the only game he made, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. And to be fair to it, like, there were certain things that were kind of cool about it. Like, the combat was actually pretty fun for, like, a Western game overall. But, at least for me, I had to stop playing. Like, I'm just gonna drop this game, honestly. And a part of it is because the setting is, like, Western fantasy, but it's, like, super generic. It really doesn't stand out at all compared to, like, the other, like, Western fantasy things you can get into, like, Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones or even, like, Dragon Age or something. But the other reason is because that game is an open world game, and I'm like, all right, I'm you know me, I'm gonna do the side content, and I just kept going to new area after new area, talking to everyone, doing all the side missions. It got to a point where I was like level 20, like literally like 30, 40, something like that, and I go to my quest journal and I'm like, I still haven't done a main quest yet. And I'm like, I checked the level and it's like level 5, and it's like, I'm done. Like, I can't.
Oh my god. That is hilarious. I can't do that.
It's just, I don't know if it's my OCD, but I'm like, I have to do it. Like, it's not part of the main story, but I have to do it.
Yeah, no, the way that I used to go through Spider-Man is like, well, if I run into like a crime or something, I'm gonna go do it.
What?
If I run into a crime, I'm gonna do it. But
with Spider-Man?
yeah.
Well, the good thing with Spider-Man is that it gets to a point where you do, like, it does stop. Because,
Yeah.
there's only, like, 5 crimes in each district.
Right.
So it does get to a point where, like, they stop showing up in the main, like, game and all. Thankfully.
Yeah. No, and I think like there is.
Can you imagine if there was still crime happening during the hallucination sequences?
Oh my god. I fucking hated those sequences.
Spider-Man gets out of that hallucination sequence and, like, 12 people are dead around him. Oh, fuck. Fuck.
I mean, like, look, I appreciate it. I understand what they were trying to do with it. It reminded me a lot, obviously, of the Scarecrow levels from Batman.
Oh, from Batman Arkham Asylum, yeah.
but I feel like I had a lot more fun in the Batman Arkham, like, Scarecrow
The Scarecrow levels in Arkham Asylum were amazing. Arkham Asylum, by the way, still my favorite one, I think. Arkham City's close, but I think I switched over to liking Arkham Asylum more.
Yeah, I still haven't played Arkham City yet. I think the furthest I went was the Two-Face level.
So the beginning?
Yeah, that is the furthest I've gone.
Furthest I faced, the intro title screen. Nice.
Wait, is that really the intro? No, I feel like I played a little bit more than that.
Nah, Two-Face is like pretty much at the beginning, bro.
Yeah, like probably like an hour. Like I got an hour in.
An hour at most.
Yeah, because I played, so like I definitely beat that like beefed up clown dude. At the Joker's hideout.
So you're past the Two-Face thing.
Is that past it?
Yeah, you don't fight a beefed up clown at the Two-Face thing. That's why I was laughing when you're like, yeah, you know, I stopped at the Two-Face in Arkham City. And I was like, oh, so you stopped at like the half-hour mark? Okay.
Yeah.
Yo,
okay.
man,
Then. All right.
I'm just imagining Lawrence like booting up Arkham City. He sets his like game options like, all right, enable subtitles. I'll come back to this later. It's like that's all he got through.
Speaking of side content for the Arkham games, God, there's so much.
Nah, in Arkham City, they went fucking nuts with those Riddler trophies.
The
it was
Riddler
insane.
trophies, the Catwoman stuff.
Yeah, there's Riddler trophies for Catwoman. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
It's so annoying. And literally the other day, I was just like roaming through the city when I decided to just pick it up and try to play it. I was just like, God, there's so much side content. Honestly, nowadays for Arkham City, I don't even do the side content anymore. There's just so much of it, and I have so many games on my backlog. I don't even care about it anymore.
See, here's the thing with me. I got that game when it was relatively new. Like, I actually got it as a gift from a friend of mine who was in my guitar club. Fun fact, I was in a guitar club, but he gave it to me as a gift, and I think I gave him like BioShock or something. I gave him a game as well. I can't remember if it was like a Fallout game or BioShock, but it was one of the two. And he gave me Arkham City with the code for the Catwoman portion and everything, because that portion of Arkham City was originally DLC.
Yeah.
And you would get it for free if you got a Return to Arkham.
Yeah,
it probably does. I'm like 99% sure it does.
Okay.
It'd be crazy if it didn't. Trust me. So yeah, it's most assuredly has to be there. But yeah, originally like you needed to buy the game new or buy the DLC off like PSN or Xbox Live. So like I played it, and this was a time where, you know, I only had like one, maybe two games tops that I could play. So I was like, I guess I'll do everything. And I did. I collected every fucking Riddler trophy. I did all the challenges. I 100%ed the game. And like it drove me nuts because I was like, I feel like I'm making no progress because there's that many trophies and shit. It's insane.
Yeah, at least
that's one of the reasons.
Pretty reasonable.
Arkham Asylum has a reasonable amount of collectibles and stuff. That's one of the reasons I think I switched over to liking Arkham Asylum a bit more. As much as I love Arkham City with like its open world and its like sort of Zelda style open world, I think over time I grew to appreciate Arkham Asylum's like Metroidvania style design, lack of collectibles compared to the future games, and the story in Arkham Asylum the most.
Right. I picked up the Return to Arkham pack, which comes with the first two games, because I really wanted to play Arkham City, and I got this for day one, so it cost me $40.
You wanted to play what?
I wanted to play Arkham City, because it was a PS3 game at the time. They didn't release it for PS4. And I played Arkham Asylum for the 360, and finished it there. And then I realized, literally just as you were talking, that the Return to Arkham pack means that it comes with the first game, and I'm not going to be playing the first game. I'm not going to go back and play it. Nothing is going to convince me to go back and play it, because I played that game.
You see Harley's feet.
I don't.
I'm just kidding.
But like,
you could just look that up if that was true anyway.
Like, look, I love the game. I liked it as it was a fun game, but I feel like I went through so much shit. You
think that's a lot? The Arkham City is so big.
Yeah, and that's another thing too that I'm really scared about. Because
guys,
I have to play that game, and now I have to actually play Arkham City.
I mean,
I'm gonna
you
hate
don't
myself.
have to. At the very least, you don't have to like do what I did and 100% Arkham City. You really don't.
No, honestly, I just.
I mean,
as
you do
I'm
get
going-
stuff like you get some more side missions with the Riddler if you collect more of his shit. But like, yeah, honestly, you're fine if you don't.
Yeah, honestly, what I do is I play through the game, and if I see a Riddler trophy, I pick it up. Otherwise, I'm not gonna go out of my way and find them, because fuck that. I'm here for the story. I'm not here for the collectibles. I'm like in other games. Yes, I can definitely play more. Like Spider-Man was the first game I platinum. It was the game that I first decided to do 100% on. Till the DLC came out, and I was like, no.
I got him that DLC, and I was like, oh boy, just wait until he gets to those
I'm probably
to
gonna
those
do it
strongholds.
at some point. Like honestly, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do it. I'm going to play it. I'm gonna finish it at some point. But I have so many games on my backlog that it is not a priority anymore. I finished the story because honestly, I think the strongest part of the Spider-Man DLC. By the way, new Spider-Man DLC, the Fantastic Four DLC
Yeah.
came out. For those of you who play the.
It's literally
Spider-Man
just two
PS4.
suits, so
Yeah.
let's try not to make it sound like it's story DLC. It's literally just two suits, but they're cool
But
suits.
the good news is that what this means is that we're probably going to get more DLC coming out that actually does add to the story, which is cool.
We don't know that. Don't say that.
Well, it's a possibility now. But yeah,
I mean,
so
they literally also might just keep releasing suits. Like it might just be that.
that's gonna be fun. But yeah, no, I think what's interesting from that perspective is that I have so many games in my backlog, and I decided, yes, the most important part of the DLC is the story. I wanted to experience the story. I played through as much as I can, and then I started to get annoyed by some of the villains because they are just obnoxiously difficult in Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah,
for the
like
DLC.
those fucking minigun guys, the
The
jetpack
minigun
guys.
the jetpack guys, the jetpack guys with miniguns.
What?
Like,
That was not a thing.
it might as well have been. Like-
True, but that was not a thing.
Like they were all really freaking annoying, and I was just like, nope, I can't, nope.
Dude, I mean, I imagine we're saving stuff like Broly, Fate, and Spider-Man for future podcasts. So I won't talk about the DLC for Spider-Man too much, but
Yeah.
I was legitimately raging because I 100%ed Spider-Man PS4, like everything in the main game. I even 100%ed New Game
God,
Plus,
yes.
and I
I'm thinking
100%ed
about
all 3 DLCs. And the fucking DLCs, honestly, were outside of the first one. The first one was manageable because the only new like annoying enemy was the regular brute with the minigun, and that was it. And it's like, okay, that's manageable. The second and third DLCs though were insanely difficult. Like it was such a huge spike. It was harder than New Game Plus to me, and I was legitimately raging because those like strongholds or whatever. I forgot what they call them in the game, but it's basically the places you go to for like you have to fight like 5 waves of enemy or 6 waves of enemies, and they just spam those annoying enemies at you constantly. And when you're playing on New Game Plus on the hardest difficulty, you can die in like 2 to 3 hits.
Great.
So you're just praying that you have enough focus to use for healing and stuff like that. It was literally rage-inducing. I was actually yelling at the TV at some point. So I was like, this is bullshit. This is insane.
That bullshit.
Yes, like that rapper that Isaac
Kodak
showed us.
Black. The bullshit.
It's bullshit. I was like, what do you think about women getting more rights? It's bullshit. You might as well have said that.
Or just say it like Cleveland. Oh, that's bullshit.
Bullshit.
But yeah, no, I think that was definitely, you know, the new Sable headquarters. I was just like, nope, I'm out. Goodbye.
The Sable headquarters and the Hammerhead outposts. That's what they're called in the game, outposts. Like the outposts in DLC 2 and 3, annoying as shit. Annoying as shit. One of them there was like 1 or 2 that I beat in like my first or second try. The others, I would die all the fucking time. Most of the time near the end, so I would literally waste like over half an hour on some of them. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And especially there was that one mission where they're on top of the Calexco building, and that one mission drove me insane. I think I tried that mission maybe over 16 times. Because the guys with the miniguns, the guys with the shields, the guy with the jetpacks, they just ambushed me, and I just did not want to deal with them anymore. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna cheese my way through this and just like throw spider bots at them and Spider Bro and everything, and just go straight for the generators. I don't even care about gaining experience and like trying to.
I mean, at that point, you have all the skills, so you don't even need to worry about the experience points. I mean, you do level up past getting all the skills, but it's literally for plus 1% health and plus 1% fighting. It's like, oh man, what an upgrade.
No,
Thanks.
Exactly. But like that was the reason why I did keep going with that, because I was just like, hey, you know what? Just keep going. Why not? And it just infuriated me, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck this.
See, I know the part you're talking about, which is funny. And that part was definitely hard, but I think I beat it in like my first or second try. And I think it's honestly just because, as hard as that was, it still doesn't compare to the outpost. Because some of the outposts, you're in a really small area. Like, at least with that fucking rooftop fight, it's a lot more open.
Yeah. And they're just coming from it. They don't stop.
It's insane. They will literally send out like 2 to 3 minigun guys, or like 4 jetpack guys, like 5 shield guys all at once. And it's like, bruh, can you cool it down a bit?
Yeah. I was just like, seriously, you're not even letting me do anything. And one of the things about that game is that as soon as I walked in, I was thinking of Arkham. And so you cannot play this game like Arkham, because
you
Peter
really
Parker is made of fucking paper.
And to be fair, makes sense. Like, the guy's not like, I mean, he's super strong, don't get me wrong. Like, when you read some of his comics, you can tell how like he's not wearing armor or anything like that. Yeah. Like he can die very quickly, especially on the harder difficulties. Even on normal, he could die relatively quickly, but like on hardcore, or I mean on ultimate or whatever it is, yeah, he dies super quickly.
Which makes sense, obviously. Like, when you shoot a gun at Peter Parker...
when you shoot a gun at a human, they get hurt, yes.
When you shoot a gun at someone, they die.
Nah, man, that tickled.
Really... But, like, that's the thing with Batman. He gets shot, it hurts him, like, a little bit, and he recovers.
Yeah.
So, like, the fuck... You know,
it's also because he probably has some shit in his suit and all that crap, whatever it is.
But like, also just the suits you get in that game, some of them are made of fucking metal. like talk about the Iron Spider suit or any of the Mark IV armors. Like, they're made of fucking metal. Do not tell me that he cannot take a bullet in those suits. I think that's probably the one thing that I wish actually did come with the game a little bit, that the suits actually just had like their own upgrades to them. Not upgrades, that they had their own like stats to them. You know, like, oh, this is just for cosmetics, or this suit has a good attack or a good defense or increased speed or something like that. But no, you have to actually equip the suit power up for you to get that. But that's my thing. Spider-Man has that luxury that if he's just wearing a suit, he doesn't like it just alters him the way that he fights anyways. Like in the comics, you know, and in the movies, when he puts on a new suit, it just alters him, right? But in this game, you actually I like the fact that you can customize what suit power ups goes with what. But
yeah, I like that.
At the same time, it's like, God damn it, the Mark IV armor can take a bullet. I'm pretty sure it can.
It would be kind of interesting if they made, like, you know, the armored suits like actually like give you some more damage resistance to like bullets and stuff. But nah, it's just purely cosmetic.
Yeah, and like
That's weird. You think it would? It's like because
because it's literally the iron. It's literally called the Iron Spider suit. Nah, man, that iron is actually paper mache. It's false advertising.
it's exactly what pisses me off about this goddamn game. But
unless these guys have like armor-piercing rounds.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's how they work around it.
That better be the canon, yeah.
I mean, I guess...
It's funny because there's a lot of iron or like armored suits in that game. There's a lot.
But then if you talk about iron-piercing suits, then you, like, let's be clear, I'm pretty sure the suits are made of vibranium. Right? The Iron Spider is made out of vibranium.
Well, we don't know, but it could.
I can't remember.
I mean, it could.
No one, please do not tell me the fucking suit is made of iron. I know what the Iron Spider suit is. But
It'd be funny that's actually what it's made out. It's just made of iron. It's not vibranium or any special metal in Marvel.
Let's look it up.
It's exactly what it says on the tin.
But yeah, no, I think, I just really... That was probably something that I wish would, happen in maybe not this game, but maybe in the next game. Because I'm gonna say it, I like this game. I loved it. It is my favorite. It is my favorite Spider-Man game. It is my favorite game overall. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. There have been a lot of Spider-Man games, and I think Ultimate Spider-Man comes second for me.
Yeah, I liked Ultimate Spider-Man a lot.
Definitely my favorite. I think it was the closest thing that we got to it was just a really creative game. It was the closest thing we got to really representing comic book Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it. And, obviously there's the movie games, which are in their own realm. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is
Spider-Man 2, really
as
good.
The best Spider-Man game ever.
Well,
Before
until PS4, yeah.
Yeah.
But now,
Spider-Man 2 HD.
And the fact that they they really gear it up for a sequel or for more content is really, really fun, because it's just waiting for the next content or for the next game is just really, really making me excited. I don't know how a sequel would work, but
with Miles.
No, I know that I know how it would work story wise. But
I don't know how a sequel would work. No, I know how a sequel would work.
But I mean, in terms of the gameplay, obviously it'd be this almost similar. But the reason that this game was, besides the story, was great was because it was almost revolutionary in the Spider-Man universe. Essentially, it took everything that anyone loved from the Spider-Man games before. It took everything that they loved about Spider-Man in general and just threw it in the game and made it look good. But then if you come out with a sequel, there's that wow factor is kind of almost kind of dissipated, because you're just oh, it's just a sequel. But at the same time, I know that the story is still going to be really good. I don't know. Do you guys do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems I'm looking forward to the sequel just to see where the story goes next. But
I'm wondering if it'll be on. It'll probably be on PS5. I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know if they can top what they did in Spider-Man PS4, because I think there were a lot of people who had a lot of questions. I mean, do you guys and there's still lots of people who had their problems with the game. I mean, remember Puddlegate?
Fucking Puddlegate.
But you know what I found?
Oh my god, I love that. Insomniac literally added puddle stickers into the game as a joke with that whole thing.
There you go, guys. Fixed.
Yeah. No, I thought that was just really, really funny. And I was just well, it's your fault, guys. Just saying.
I just love how Insomniac is just totally they acknowledge all of the criticism, but they respond to it in some sort of way, with the puddles, in a comedic way, we've heard the problems that you guys have with this game's graphics, so here you go, you guys can fix it for yourself. And then you have the whole thing with the Raimi suit of people begging for it every so often, and then trying to shit on Insomniac for not adding it this next second into the game. Like if it's that easy to model an HD version of that suit into a PS4 game, and then they finally release it not even as paid DLC, but as a free gift for all people who own the game.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I see it as them basically. They see the criticism, they respond to it, and they do it in such a way where it's like people who made that shitty criticism in the first place, they just feel like shit afterwards. For like, because they couldn't be patient. It's like, fuck, man, they gave us a suit for free, but why do I feel like such an asshole though?
Jesus.
One way
Like
to put
that's
it.
literally
You made it
literally
really
the
deep.
feeling.
Damn.
But that's really the feeling that I get from it, though. Like the way they handle their public relations and then how they respond to the fans and criticism and all that. It's like they don't even need to like be out of control with their tweets or like be unprofessional or anything like that, or try to be like, if you guys just wait a little while longer, maybe it'll come out. Okay, and then obviously if people say that, then it's just not going to stop. You're still going to have people complaining until they get what they want. And then they do get what they want, and then when they realize that it was presented to them in a way where there was no trouble that they had to bite off of their end, like, they didn't pay for the Raimi suit. They got it for free. And, people were like, well, damn, man, like, thank you. But, like, sorry.
I'm sorry, by the way, for the background. You guys can hear the police sirens.
Yeah, what you do, Jesus.
We all live in New
Lawrence.
York, just letting you guys know. And so there is a...
Sir, we understand you have an illegal feet pick collection.
And we live right
You're here
next
to
to
bring you in?
next to a hospital, but also we live like really close
Wow,
by.
they're really out to get you.
There is a fire department, and I'm not sure where the police precinct is.
I thought you were about to say there's a fire. I was like, bro, get out of there. Forget the
Broadcast
podcast.
the podcast to get the fuck out. Or take the podcast with you.
But yeah,
Just take his desktop? Okay.
You know what I really...
Yeah, take the whole thing. Do like the guy on the train with the Xbox game.
With the Xbox?
generator.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the game, but also, let me tell you, when I played the DLC and the Sam Raimi suit came out, I played the entire DLC with the Sam Raimi suit. It looked really good. I loved it.
That's like the Melee HD of like Spider-Man fans. Like just getting the Raimi suit in an HD Spider-Man game.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that is one of the things that I personally liked about it. But also just the fans were really relentless. They're just like, okay, you gave us this, but like, we still want more. Like, bruh, really? Like,
Never gonna end.
This game like actually just like destroyed every other Spider-Man game out there, and y'all still want more?
I even made a joke about this too. It was like, alright, we finally got the Raimi suit in the game. That's it. Now let's move on. What the fuck? You guys want the fucking wrestling suit from the beginning of the movie? And the Amazing Spider-Man suits too? Are you
Isn't
people
there
never
already a
fucking-
wrestling suit in the game, though?
Yeah, but it's based on the actual like suit from that game's continuity though. From like the poster that you see in Peter's room.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but they want the ones from the...
You want the ones from the movie with Bonesaw.
Bonesaw is
who was
ready!
introduced by Bruce Campbell, aka who was supposed to play fucking Mysterio in the Sam Raimi 4 films. By the way, I was watching a video about why Spider-Man 4 didn't work out. And let me tell you, fuck Sony. Honestly.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
Sony,
like
honestly.
legit fuck Sony for that.
Literally, because Sam Raimi, he even says it on his own. He hates Spider-Man 3, and he never wants to watch it ever again. Absolutely.
And he blames
hates
himself for it.
And he blames himself. I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry, you just did what you were trying to do. But Sony literally...
I got a lot of respect for him though.
Well,
Like
like-
I've seen podcasts where he's like, so like he hates Spider-Man 3. He's like
Yes.
he's so apologetic about like how that movie turned out. And I'll be honest, like I have issues with it, but I still kind of like it. Like it's still enjoyable to me.
What, Spider-Man 3
Yeah.
or just Spider-Man?
3,
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the one
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gets hated on the most.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
And
an entirely
even
bad
he's
movie,
like
it just
even
has,
he
like-
hates it.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's not an
hate
entirely
it.
bad movie. It just has some bad parts to it.
Yeah,
I'm sure if it wasn't for Sony meddling, like, oh no, you need to add in Venom and all that, like
movie.
you know, like he only wanted like what 1 or 2 villains, but no, it's like
so he wanted New Goblin, and he wanted which is Harry, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wanted Sandman, and that's it. But he wanted Sandman to
Yeah.
be the primary villain, and then Harry was going to be like side content essentially.
which would have been fine. I definitely think the movie would have worked a lot better overall if Venom wasn't in it at all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was just like, bro, seriously, chill.
Yeah. Sam
and, like, they
Raimi had
didn't even nail
no plans
Venom.
for Venom.
They didn't.
Like the
nail
next
Venom
movie
was
gonna be
terrible.
about- the next movie was gonna have like Vulture or Lizard or like and also
wanted
Mysterio was gonna
Mysterio.
make an appearance.
And let me tell you, Bruce Campbell was like he was in all 3 of the movies. And for those of you that don't know, Bruce Campbell is famous for Ash and the Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, yeah.
But also he was famous for being in Burn Notice. He played the supporting character, the kind of Mike's right hand man in that game. Sorry, in that movie.
Doesn't
in that damn show, in that TV show.
doesn't
It's
Bruce
a
Campbell
show.
always find? Doesn't he always find a way to star in like every Sam Raimi
He
film in
was in
some
every
role?
single one of the 3 because they were friends. But he was in every single Spider-Man movie. I'm sure in every
As
other
some
Sam
character,
Raimi.
yeah.
So the first one
Like-
he played the wrestling announcer.
Yeah.
In the second one he played the guy at the
The theater.
movie at the theater.
That stopped him from entering.
Yeah, and it's interesting enough that he says, he's like, you'll ruin the illusion. He says you can't go in, you'll ruin the illusion. And I was just like, whoa. that's such a like a Mysterio, because they say that essentially he was going to be like
Yo, what if
that
he was actually
particular
Mysterio in
character.
that scene?
Exactly. Sorry. But they say like, so in the first movie he was like the announcer, which means he like had probably something to do with entertainment. Like he likes
He
entertainment.
ripped, he died.
He
Yeah, he died and came
had
back.
something to do with entertainment, and that's kind of like his thing, which is kind of like what Mysterio stands for. You know, he is like somebody who's almost like a cinephile or something like that, and he loves special effects. And that's kind of how like he is. And then
In the third movie.
in the third movie, he was the
He was
French accent guy at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like,
the favorite.
and then in the fourth one, he was supposed to be Mysterio. And I was like, yo, that makes so much sense that like this guy is just kind of going around.
His Peter's greatest enemy.
It's actually.
What if he recognized him like, it's you?
Maybe, like that. We don't know how that would have been because we don't have really much of that. We don't have much of that story anymore, which really sucks. But now we're just gonna go with Jake Gyllenhaal, which, by the way, let me say, looks amazing. I think he looks really cool as Mysterio. I think everything looks good, but there is kind of part of me that's just like, you know, what would have been. And in that case, I really want to know like how Bruce Campbell would have first done it, because he is one of my favorite TV actors is Bruce Campbell, and I really would have wanted to see how he would have handled the part.
I do agree, yeah.
And I think in the next one also, like you said, Vulture was supposed to be there, and I think either Lizard or Electro, one of those that I heard.
One of the two.
Which I don't know if that would have been falling into the same pitfall that Spider-Man 3 would have gone into. I mean,
Well,
remember, even
here's
back
the
then,
thing,
they wanted a Spider-Man 5, a Spider-Man 6.
Yeah.
Like, they already created ideas for that.
Here's the thing. I heard that for at least Mysterio in particular, and I think maybe Vulture, I heard that they were going to be having small appearances in the original Spider-Man 4. Like, basically, they would show up in the movie, but only in like a montage towards the beginning when Spider-Man is basically arresting all of his rogues gallery. Like, he's going after each of them. Like, kind of like, in a weird way, it's like
Amazing Spider-Man 2, with where Ryan was in the beginning and in the end.
In a way, but it's like he's basically rounding up the Sinister Six in the beginning. Right. And then I think Lizard or whoever was probably going to be like the main villain. But like it's basically just to show like progression of like how far Peter has gone since Spider-Man 3 as a hero.
Yeah, and they said they were going to include Gwen Stacy in the fourth one.
That's right.
Also, I was just like, wait, what? Really? God, I would have loved to see how that story played out. Especially
she was in the third one already.
Yeah, exactly. She was in it, but she played like a minor role, I would say.
Yeah, she was basically the source of jealousy.
Exactly.
For Mary Jane.
And then that's why in the fourth one she would come back, and then now it's like Peter has to choose, who do you want? And I think that's
technically,
just so fun.
Technically, they can't do that scene again because they already did it in the first movie with Green Goblin and Mary Jane.
Which one? Oh, where Peter has to choose?
Yeah.
Oh, right, where he reaches his hand out and he's like, and he has like half of his face, half of his mask kind of like blown off, and he's just like, he reaches out for the camera. I remember that scene. Well, I mean, technically, they wouldn't do like that scene where he has to choose, but like mentally, or emotionally, he would have to choose: do I love Gwen Stacy or do I love Mary Jane? Obviously, the choice is really hard.
Well, I mean, the
choice is yours and yours alone.
They were going to get married in the third movie, so like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think also just the way that Far From Home handles Mary Jane.
With Zendaya.
I'm really excited to see. I like Zendaya as an actress. When she was in Greatest Showman, she was really good. So I'm really excited to see. I was actually watching a video, and I do want to bring this up. I think this might be just our last topic to talk about, because it is a beefy topic. And I don't want to. It is 2 a.m. here, guys, and I don't want to lead into.
For those of you guys who are still playing along with the game, yeah.
But so I was watching this video. I'm not sure if you saw Greatest Showman, Eric.
No.
So I did want to, but it did strike up a debate. As some of you might know, I love The Greatest Showman. It is one of my favorite movies out there. And there was a lot of people out there at the time when it came out. First off, the movie got a 57 or something like that, or a 50% on like Rotten Tomatoes. And everywhere critics were pretty much saying like, no, this movie sucked. Everyone hated it. And I was watching a video that defends The Greatest Showman, right? By like, he makes some interesting points that the directors and whatnot. First off, let me say P.T. Barnum was a piece of shit. In reality, he and just to tell a quick story, he bought essentially a woman, who was and pretty much enslaved her, like a white old woman. I'm not sure if she was white or black. I'm really, but he put her out on display pretty much 12 to 16 hours a day, and people would come in, they'd pay money to see her, and he advertised her as like the great grandmother or something like that of George Washington. And she eventually died, and they said that she, first off, she was 161 years old. That's what they said she was. And then when she died, he publicly did an autopsy. He hired a surgeon. He hired, he grabbed an audience, and he said, "Hey, everybody, watch us do an autopsy on this lady that used to be the old woman." And they obviously found out that she was not really like a certain, like that 161 years old. She was only like regular age, right? But The point is, he was a piece of shit in real life. But lots of people hated it for that reason. They hated The Greatest Showman because they're just like, oh man, like, it doesn't capture who P.T. Barnum really was. Like, it's not historically accurate. And I'm like, what? Like,
welcome to cinema.
And that's I think that's kind of the problem here. Lots of people, and this is what this video, like, this YouTuber goes and he defends. He says, like, from interviews from the directors and from, you know, Hugh Jackman, who was the producer for this movie, it was his passion project, first off. But second, nobody wanted this piece to be historically accurate. It was never meant to be. Because there are so many things that are historically wrong about this movie. If anything, it was loosely based on his life. You know? And that says a lot, because when we talk loosely based, like, here's the difference. That Little Mermaid movie from last week said that it was based on a true story. Or based on the fairy tale.
Yeah.
But, like,
The Little Mermaid isn't the true story?
and, like, that movie was bullshit. Okay? And it was
Well, yeah.
not, I can't even say loosely based on that. It was, like, barely based.
I can't even say it's loosely bullshit.
But the problem here is that, yes, there's so much, like, stuff that is not the same. Like, most of the characters, like Zendaya, the characters that they play and everything like that, they were not real people. And real,
Yeah.
like, most of those carnies essentially were not real. They were just, like, made for the movie, for entertainment purposes. And that, then he goes on, he makes this debate. Like, there's some movies that are art, there are some movies that are made for entertainment, and then there are movies that strike a good balance. Something like the original Star Wars trilogy strikes a really good balance between art and entertainment, or Blade Runner, or something like of those sorts of movies. And then there are movies that are solely made for entertainment, something like Black Panther, or
What are you talking about? That movie ended racism, Lawrence.
you're so right.
Yeah, man.
Or like
Wakanda's
Infinity
real.
War, or you know, anything like that. And then there are movies that are, like, purely art, right? Like, I guess
The Room.
no, maybe.
Based
Well,
on
I mean,
the
that's, I guess, in some way. Or like the Lady in Water or whatever. What was that in the Quentin Tarantino movie? That came out recently.
Oh, the one where she fucks Fishman?
Yeah. Like, that was, I think I can say it was
Oh,
an
Super
art
Bowl?
piece. Yeah, something like that. Or Life of Pi, which was, I think, supposed to also be like an art piece. And essentially. And I think that's the thing that people are finding really hard to distinguish. Like, they think that this is supposed to be like a biopic, essentially, of his life. But Hugh Jackman and the directors never said that they wanted this movie to be historically accurate to P.T. Barnum's life. Because if we're all going to be honest, P.T. Barnum was a piece of shit, and we know that.
Yeah.
But and first off, when was this ever historically accurate that that all these carnies come together and start singing in a burning fire or whatever? Like, are you out of your mind? You know? Like, I get it. I understand why people have that.
It's like,
But the problem is that, like,
It's like-
this movie did, like, all the audience members loved it. Like, it has an 87%, for example, on Rotten Tomatoes from the audience, which is fantastic. And it's like word of mouth really traveled in this one, and lots of, like, the DVD sales, like, apparently were astounding. Like, it was one of the highest bought DVDs, I think, of last year. Yeah, last year. And that, like, I think it topped The Last Jedi for DVD sales, which is, like, you know, weird, because you would think that Last Jedi would top more, like, people would be buying more Last
Right.
Jedi. But then again, Last Jedi was kind of subpar compared to the other, like, Star Wars movies. And I think that says a lot, you know, that, like, people really enjoyed this movie. And so I feel like, in this case, I guess, really, the critics were just being way too hard on this movie that was never really meant to take itself seriously. It was never meant to be like a historical piece. It was meant to just be a fun movie, an entertainment piece. And they're just like the top comment. Hold on, let me read the top comment to you. And I guess we'll just kind of see what I mean, but the top comment says, "The Greatest Showman tries hard to dazzle the audience with a Barnum-style sense of wonder, but at the expense of its complex subject's far more intriguing real-life story." And I'm just like, this was never meant to be like a real-life rendition of P.T. Barnum. This was...
I also don't think it was that complex of a story.
No, it wasn't. Like, it's just...
It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and it's just supposed to be, like, a fun musical movie. Hugh Jackman worked pretty much all of his life, like, the past 6 years of his life, or 7 years, trying to get off the ground. And
right.
it had really good music that won awards. Like, people were saying, like, do you see people reenacting scenes from Last Jedi in an ice rink? No. You see people reenacting the song This Is Me from The Greatest Showman on the ice rink, you know? And I think that's an interesting point. Like, yes, this movie was great. It produced good music, and it had a good story. And yes, I can fully admit that the guy, you know, first off, in real life was a piece of shit, and so, like, it was not a real account of his life, but at the same time, this movie never wanted to do that. It just wanted to take this character and tell pieces of that, pieces, I guess, of... I can't even say pieces of his life, because, like, a lot of it in the movie isn't even real.
You got cut out.
No, a lot of that movie isn't even real. You know, it's just, it's all mostly, like, fun.
It's mostly fictionalized for dramatic effect.
Right. And then he, you know, that's what he says is, like, this is where he goes into this idea of, like, this is where the problem lies with, like, with this sort of thing that, like, people like to say that, like, oh man, this movie sucks because it doesn't tell the real story. And, like, but was that really what it was intended to do, though? You know? Like, was that the point of it? I feel like he missed the entire point of the movie. You know? And
that's like complaining that Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was not a good depiction of Abraham Lincoln's actual life.
Wait, you're telling me he didn't actually hunt vampires?
That's another like argument he makes. He's like, that's like saying, like, Star Wars was what, like, that's like judging Star Wars for lacking like realistic space travel or something like that. Like, that's what he said. And I was just like, damn, you are so right. Like, that makes so much sense. Just like, yeah, if you really do take this for its face value, you will see that it is, like, just a passion project. It's fun.
Yeah.
But if you are trying to look at this from a historical point of view, then that's just literally like saying, like, oh man, since when was there ever a worm on a moon in space in Star Wars? Or since when was there like salt on like this planet? Like that one scene from Last Jedi where the guy tastes the floor and he's like, salt. You know. But like that's my thing. And that was my kind of rant for this episode, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I see what you're saying. I feel like it all goes back to the whole, like, you know, it's getting harder and harder, and it's probably been hard since the beginning to really just trust any kind of critic's review of it. Because, like, you know, I always say it's always best to go in and see the movie or play the game or whatever it is, you know, just experience it for yourself before making a proper judgment. If there's a point where you really just cannot stand it and you have to stop, then fair enough. But at least experience a good amount of it and make a fair judgment before, going in and just trusting all these reviews and then just shitting on a product that you never seen before, that in some alternate universe you actually did give it a chance and you actually ended up really enjoying.
Right.
And so, I think that I'm not saying that there shouldn't be professional critics doing stuff, making reviews and all that. And that's not to say that some of these people in some way don't have a point. I mean, yeah, it's historically inaccurate, but at the same time, maybe you just didn't really get the point of the movie. Maybe it's I always tell this story. There were people who went to go see the Yu-Gi-Oh movie in 2004, The Pyramid of Life,
God.
without having
Always
actually
brings up this example.
But it's true though, because they were giving it bad reviews, but they've never seen Yu-Gi-Oh before, so they didn't get it.
Because let's be fair, there's some movies like that where it's why would you go see this if you aren't a Yu-Gi-Oh fan? Honestly, why? Why would you go see Dragon Ball Super if you're not a Dragon Ball fan?
Right?
It makes no sense. There's some movies that I feel are almost unreviewable because it's yeah, they're for a very specific demographic. Of course, if you're not a part of it, you're probably not gonna like it. It's yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh movie, it got really bad reviews, Pyramid of Light or whatever it was called, and it's well, yeah, I mean, because it's for Yu-Gi-Oh fans. That's basically it. No one should watch that unless they're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. It's the same thing with Dragon Ball Super. It's no one should watch it unless they're Dragon Ball fans. I mean, and I get maybe these kind of movie adaptations can draw people in to the fandom or whatever, but sometimes that's just not the case. Sometimes it literally is just a movie for the fans and that's it.
Yeah.
And you can't really do anything about that. It's
how going into Infinity War without having seen any of the other Marvel movies beforehand, you're not going to understand anything.
That's a decent example, and another one for me, as much as it might be a weird one to bring up, but it's another reason why I personally I always said that all those band movies that would come out from the bands that were popular when we were in middle school, the Jonas Brothers movie, the Justin Bieber movie, the
Jonas Arc,
the One Direction movie, all those movies came out, and it's honestly
the Hannah Montana movie. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but I see those as unreviewable because it's literally made for One Direction fans. It's made for Justin Bieber fans. All that. Why would a film critic go out to see that? There's no reason to. It's not for you. It just isn't part of your demographic, and that's just the way of things in this day and age. Not everything is gonna appeal to. Nothing is gonna appeal to everyone. There's gonna be some things that just are for specific people, and that's it. You could watch it and see if maybe you can pull stuff out of it even without being a fan of it. I heard that apparently the One Direction movie portrayed the boys in the band. I don't fucking know their names honestly, so I'm just gonna say the boys in the band. They portrayed them as real natural people more than the other band movies. So it's all right, that's something you could definitely point out in a full on written review, sure. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter what score you give it at the end because fans are gonna go see it because it's the movie for them. That's it. It's not a movie for just a regular film goer.
Right.
Absolutely, and I think that kind of touches on that point of yes, go and review the movie, but I think also in the case, for example, of Greatest Showman, I feel like critics were looking for the wrong thing, and that is obviously subjective. That is a subjective opinion, I guess if some people want to go there, sure, go for it. I'm not gonna, if you hate the movie, hate the movie. I'm not going to go and start defending why I love this movie. Because I personally loved it. It was a fun story. There was good music. And I liked the characters. They were cool. None of them were real, except for P.T. Barnum, but even he was just loosely based. He had the name, and he had the circus idea. That's it. But since when did CGI elephants come out of the fucking circus in the 1800s? That didn't happen. Are you kidding me?
It's funny that I brought up the Abraham Lincoln vampire hunter joke earlier, because I remember around the same time actually when that movie came out, another Abraham Lincoln movie did come out around
Oh,
the
the
same
Lincoln
time.
movie, Daniel
Actually,
Day-Lewis?
Lincoln. Yeah, and that was actually more like, apparently it was more historically accurate.
Oh
to,
yeah,
like,
the Lincoln movie,
Oh,
the
that was
like
a great
actual
movie.
historical Lincoln movie. I heard it was good. Yeah, wasn't it a Spielberg movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really good. I love that movie, honestly. As a history major, historian, one of my favorite movies of all time is the Lincoln movie.
I feel like Vampire Hunter was more historically accurate, personally.
You know what? I guess you're right. Screw me for my
But
opinion.
like, yeah, basically, like, if you're looking for
You
historical
made it sound worse than what I made it said. I wasn't saying your opinion was bad at all. It's like, screw me for my opinion, I guess.
If you're looking for historical accuracy, you know, the option is right there for you. You know, there's other movies you could watch. There's other things you could probably do.
Right.
You know, and I understand movies is a popular, you know, way to like, or I guess I should say the best way to teach people about, you know, things historically, like, you know, with adaptations of like Marvel comics, you know, teaching people, you know, this is a stories that people used to read in comic books way back when. You know, it's not the exact same, but it is a new similar retelling of it, and it's close enough, and now newer audiences can enjoy it. Something like that. But like, at the same time, like, obviously nothing's ever going to be completely accurate, but at the same time, there are other ways. If you need a more accurate telling of it, there are other ways you can seek it out.
And this is the problem. When the trailers first came out,
Remember to separate Hollywood from reality.
When the trailers first came out for Greatest Showman, I remember because I was like replaying them over and over and over.
He was a wee
again.
lad.
Like,
Just
I
spoke
remember
his
them
first word.
because within the 4 days. First off, what was the movie we went to go see? Before that,
right. I remember the trailer when we saw it, but I don't remember the movie.
Was it Star Wars?
I don't remember. You need to be more specific.
What was the movie that we saw in December, and then I was like, yo, I have to, like, they played the Greatest Showman trailer, and I was like, yo, I have to go see it. Was it Star
might
Wars?
have been.
I think it was Star Wars.
Well, Star Wars did come out in December, so it might be Star Wars.
Okay, so I think it was Star Wars. And then we watched that, and I was like, oh, this movie is good. And I initially thought I was going to hate it, and then I saw the trailer, and I was like, it looks so good. The music sounds so good. And then, for the 4 days of me waiting for that movie to come out, I was just replaying the trailer. And one distinct thing I noticed is that it never said based on the real story or something like that. And now I'm looking at all these critics and says, historians now agree that Barnum was the one who said there's a sucker born every minute. I'm like, what? Or, The Greatest Showman is a perfunctory story effort in story, music, dance, and direction that professes empty messages about uniqueness, reaching not for the stars, for bland homogeneity. The movie is safe and bland. Okay.
I like that we made a whole topic of the podcast on Lawrence's like hate towards critics over The Greatest Showman. He just kind of decides this is a topic now.
Well, no, because it speaks to the greater, the bigger idea here that like.
Me and Ray are just sitting here silent because we haven't seen the fucking movie. We don't know what you're talking
Ray
about.
saw the movie.
Ray saw it? Okay. I didn't.
I didn't.
I'm like completely in the dark here. I'm like, okay, just keep going, I guess, because I don't know what you're talking about.
The reason why I'm not really talking about the movie, like it is at this point, it is mostly an example.
Just using it as
I'm using
as
it
an
as
example.
as the biggest example because it's the only one that I can really like refer to that I feel like really has that strong of a case for it. That, you know, I'm sure there are other movies just like that out there. I just don't know. But the fact is that these critics, I think, were looking for the wrong thing. Because clearly there was something in this movie that resonated with audiences for it to
fucking Mike sucks. Seriously.
Well, let me be totally fair that OBS actually did capture my audio right there.
Your mic still sucks.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the mic or Discord. One
It
of them
might be
sucks
Discord.
right now.
I think it's Discord because it showed up and captured in the.
It's always just you, literally. It's always just you. I love movie. That's all I hear.
So one of the
Remember
things
when
that
it used to just be Team Triforce that got cut off?
yeah, I remember. So I remember just kind of looking at the like trailers, and then I saw the reviews, and I was like, why did this movie get an 87% from audiences, but like a really low critics rating?
That happens often, yeah.
And I was just like, is like clearly there was something in this movie that, like, you know,
There's some disconnect
It dr-
between.
it drew people
Yeah.
in. Something about this movie actually drew people in, and people really enjoyed it. So then, why is there such a big difference? You know, like I guess Star Wars is one of those movies where like critics and audience members disagree. And for in different ways, and I think that's kind of something that I'm very interested in to know that, you know, I'm not cutting out, by the way, this is just me. There is a strange like disconnect between how people watch this movie and enjoy it and how critics view it. I feel like critics, you know, they have to be critical about the movie, which I guess is fine, but I feel like there has to be it has to be like a sliding scale of how harsh you have to be, you know? Like, if this were a movie that from the get-go says, no, we want to tell P.T. Barnum's real life story, we want to say, you know, we want to say everything that he's done from the time he was born to the time that he died. I'm like, alright, I'm pretty sure P.T. Barnum did not dance with his sweetheart on the roof of his New York City apartment building. Like, let's be serious here. And that is something that interests me in that way. And I feel like, you know, it was so profound. Like, lots of, like, people just kind of disagree on this movie. Like, critics disagree with the audience members, but it's like the audience members felt something totally different. And I think that's something, a phenomenon that I think is interesting. So,
I guess just to like add on to that, I remember if you guys remember Moana, how Maui, some people, mostly like in Polynesian and Tahitian communities, had a bit of a problem with the way he was portrayed in the movie because some people view Maui in mythology as being basically Hawaiian Superman, but in those stories of like Maui in real life, people would say that he was more like noble and like, you know, he was basically just literally Superman, but like of Hawaii. But in the movie, the way they portray him is that like, you know, he's a guy who like usually brags about his accomplishments and that he's kind of lazy and, you know, he usually tries to do like the bare minimum when it comes to trying to save the day.
right.
And I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, this is Disney's version of Maui, and it's not the first time that they've really done this for like other characters in different.
Have you seen Hunchback of Notre Dame? It's very different from the book.
Basically,
Yeah.
Snow White gets raped by the seven dwarves, dude. Like a lot of these Disney movies are
what?
like,
You didn't know that?
no, this is real, dude. Like this is actually all these fairy tales. They're way darker, like than what Disney makes them out to be. Which, as a side note, thank you Disney for like making these fairy tales more likable, in my opinion. But like,
Damn.
this is something they do all the time. This is just their depiction of it. So like, I understand, you know, the disconnect between them, but at the same time, try to like see the movie out for itself as its own form of art because this is its own depiction of it. It's not meant to be a real life depiction of
Based on
Maui
the
that-
true story.
You guys will still have the actual Maui that you guys told stories of. This is just a different interpretation of it, and it's not the first time that really any company or storyteller has really done when it comes to adapting something into another form of media. Because like, what is like what we were saying earlier, what ifs are always gonna really be a thing. Like there's always someone who wants to experience, well, what if something happened like this, or what if this character did this instead, or what if they had it born with a different personality.
Right.
And if we just limit ourselves to like historical accuracy, then we're never gonna expand and tell more interesting stories, and it's gonna be boring just hearing the same kind of general story and the same version of this character over and over and over again.
Right.
So
Exactly. And I think that kind of wraps, like, that kind of just shows my point. Like, there was clearly a big issue. What's up?
No, I'm laughing because I honestly couldn't tell you were trying to make this like a general topic. I thought you were just talking about Greatest Showman out of nowhere. Like, no. I thought you were just like, you know what brings my piss to a boil? The fact that critics hated Greatest Showman. I couldn't tell. You dug so deep into that one example, I thought you were just ranting. And then you're like, nah, man, this is a general topic. Was it?
Part of
it became a general topic later on, but at first it was just like Greatest Showman for like 30 minutes.
And like that's kind of what the video. That
I'm just laughing at that. Like I was silent for most of that because I was just like, I don't know what to fucking say. This guy's just going on about Greatest Showman. Not that big a deal, Lawrence. Please calm down. People liked it, okay?
But yeah, no, like, because I was watching this, I was watching that video, and it really opened my eyes about it. Just like, oh, this makes sense. Like, totally. I get
totally.
That, like, yeah, this, like, because that's what he did. He talked pretty much for 20 minutes about the actual movie and why critics are wrong. And then he talked 10 minutes about why this is a problem in the in the critic community. Why are people being so like critical, or why are critics being so harsh on this movie when it definitely was not meant to take itself seriously in the first place? And I think that's just kind of wraps up like my point on that. Yeah.
Watch his next Ash rant. When he rants about Ash, like after 20 minutes of ranting about Ash, he'll be like, and that's why the minimum wage should be raised. It's like, oh, there was a general topic there all along.
But actually, the latest version of the Ash rant is the Red Dead 2 rant.
Oh God, this guy would not stop about that.
Ash Ketchum lets a Red Dead 2?
No, the Ash rant was replaced by the Red Dead rant because he got so mad that Red Dead kept winning so many awards at the Game of the Year award show.
God, that pisses me off. But if you give me a chance to talk about it, we're gonna be here for another hour. So I'd rather.
Yo, what if Ash finally wins the league and Red Dead
don't do it.
Red Dead Redemption 2, as a result, finally loses?
I mean, what do you mean? It's over. It won.
No, but like they finally start losing awards and everything like that.
How does that work, Ray? Are the Game Awards going to be like, you know what? I'm taking that back. No.
It becomes a shitty game.
What?
I don't think that's happening. I mean, I hear the online's pretty bad, but
yeah, because Ash Ketchum will win the league, and so Red Dead Redemption 2 will become a shitty game as a result.
I'm dead.
Okay, that's some galaxy brain theory. That's some galaxy brain theory right there, but okay.
It's better than fucking fake ass Gauntlet and.
You're really still on that, man. Lawrence will never be able to live that down.
Card that doesn't exist anymore.
Part of me thinks that I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there.
Part of you what?
Ray, I'm testing his patience. I should not.
You know,
Part
guys,
of you
I
what?
really do think.
I was going to start talking about the fake Gauntlet.
You were going to start explaining your theory?
Yes, but I don't want to anymore. because I know he's gonna get pissed. But I think on a real note, I love I love The Greatest Showman. I think if you haven't gotten a chance to see it, go watch it. And
Also,
I guess to think
listen
about
to that beautiful soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I think go listen to the soundtrack first. See if you dig the music, because I personally don't dig Moulin Rouge, but I know so many people who like it.
Yeah, I don't like Moulin Rouge all that much either.
So I know so many people that do like it. So it's like,
I give it credit in that it helped bring back musicals for a while, but that's about it.
Go listen to the soundtrack for Greatest Showman, because if you do like the music, which a lot of people do, then you might like the movie, because it is actually like a good representation. And then like it just like Moulin Rouge. I didn't personally dig the soundtrack, so I knew I wasn't probably gonna want like the movie. And that's a big thing about musicals. If you like the music, you'll like the story. And that was something like, especially with like Chicago, West Side Story, the music was great. The sound, like all the songs were great. But I can't bring myself to watch like Moulin Rouge. It's not my thing. But I will say that the movie. Oh, what am I? Which movie am I thinking about? I literally just had it. Oh, right, Crazy Rich Asians. Kind of had a similar problem that lots of people, I guess, at the beginning. First off, Crazy Rich Asians has won some awards, so thankfully it did not face the Red Dead 2 curse.
His examples are just movies he likes that critics chat on.
or Greatest Showman.
He just has a personal vendetta right now.
But no. So the problem with this is that people, first off, critics started saying that this movie was racist. That's number one. People started saying Crazy Rich Asians was racist. And then lots of people are saying it's a generic rom-com. It's not good. And then I watched it. And I loved it. I really did. I thought it was really entertaining. And and there's this really funny story right now that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is actually really, really upset that he wasn't in Crazy Rich Asians. He literally said, "Why didn't you call me for this?"
You're not Asian.
No, he's Polynesian.
We're crazy.
You're not crazy. There you go. You got the rich and Asian part down, but not crazy.
Yeah. But and so like that was and like Ronnie Chang, who's on the Daily Show, was like he posted a photo. He said, "We didn't call you because we didn't need you, but maybe in the next one that's on you. And if you want to fight me, come fight me. You know where I'm at." Things like that. But like that's kind of my thing. Like, first off, how is this movie racist? Like, I'm sorry, I fail to see how this is racist.
It's racist because...
Let me guess, most of the people saying that are white people.
Yes.
Yeah, I talked about this with Lawrence,
or really oversensitive social justice warriors, minority social justice warriors.
I talked about this with Lawrence a little while ago, I think while I was in Florida, but like, I've noticed that like, white people really like to make other people's problems their own problems. They like to act like they know everything. And that's one example where they're like, "Bro, you're not even Asian. Like, how do you know this? Like, how about we get like an actual Asian's opinion on this movie?"
Every single Asian loved it. They said, "I don't see how this is racist at all."
And like the best example I can think of like this whole thing where white people just really like to try and act and make other cultures, like I guess debates their own. There was one time I told Lawrence this when we talked about it, but there was one time I was on Twitter and I like read a thread about there was I think an American chick who was like trying on kimonos and all that stuff, like, you know, the Japanese dress, and a lot of white people were like, "That's racist. You're appropriating Japanese culture. How dare you?" You know, things like they were like harassing her and everything. And an actual Japanese man, I think it was a man or a woman. Obviously, it's a man or a woman. That's a dumb thing to say. I think it was a Japanese guy, but he came in and he said, nah, actually, this is completely wrong. We actually love it when foreigners try out like things like that, like our clothings and stuff, and we don't think it's racist at all and stuff like that. It's like just completely shutting them down. It's just like, no, it's not. The fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you harassing her over that? It's just, shit like that happens so often where white people will just try to act all justicey and all that.
Yeah. Exactly, and that is my problem. And it is partially why I'm just like, you know what? Do you, sir? Do you? But at the same time, let me do me.
Do you with a football helmet on, I guess.
Exactly. Speaking of football, and this was the very first topic before Ray interrupted me a long time ago, telling me that we should do intros. The Super Bowl is this weekend.
We should.
It's actually tomorrow.
It's today.
Oh, it's today. Shit. It's Sunday already. It's 2:30. Shit. So the Super Bowl's tonight, which means we can look forward to a few things. First off, the Maroon 5 halftime performance. The Patriots getting their ass kicked again, hopefully.
I should. There you go. Don't set yourself up for failure.
We can look forward to Disney buying. They bought a lot of trailers. They bought a lot of commercials, which means
will probably come out after the Super Bowl. So I just can't wait to see how hilarious in hindsight this segment.
What time is the Super Bowl again?
It's like 6:30 is the kickoff, I think.
Okay.
But Disney bought a lot of trailer spots for their like commercials, which means we can probably look forward to a few things: a new Avengers Endgame trailer, a new Captain Marvel trailer, definitely not another Spider-Man trailer.
Before an actual Spider-Man trailer,
probably an Aladdin trailer, maybe another Lion King trailer, and just some others. I think Toy Story 4 also. Definitely, we can probably experience another one of those. I forget, but they definitely bought that many trailers, which will be fun. So next week when we come back, we'll be able to tell you guys what we think about the trailers and what we thought of the Super Bowl. But also, we can't wait, and we're really hoping that this happens. That they are going to do the Spider-Man. Sorry.
The Spider-Man halftime show. Yup. There we go. There's our flub for the podcast from Lawrence.
The SpongeBob. The SpongeBob.
At least it wasn't as bad as Spider-Man episode 9. We'll give him that.
The SpongeBob.
Spider-Man halftime show.
Actually, what if Disney bought a
Super
trailer
Bowl.
for Spider-Man episode 9? What if that's one of them?
But yeah, no. So
based on an idea from the Inkling
I can't even think anymore. What is it?
They credit us and everything.
So the SpongeBob halftime show from Sweet Victory. Hopefully, like they were saying, like lots of people are saying they really want this. There was a petition. Everybody wants this.
It got acknowledged.
So they have to do it, and I think it would be really cool. First off, if we get that, and then maybe Maroon 5, like Adam Levine sings that song. That would be kind of cool. Like they do that, and they kind of just show it, and it would be obviously in tribute to it would be in tribute to Steven Hellenberg, who passed away last year, but it's definitely something.
Do you guys think they're gonna sing it first or save it the best for last?
I would hope the best for last.
Best for last or sometime in the middle. But I love Maroon 5, and so this is going to be a really fun halftime show for me, honestly. I will say that I was not a big fan of the Justin Timberlake one. Look, I love Justin Timberlake, but I did not really think that he has that much, like he has good music, but I don't think he has that much music that he needs to take up the entire halftime show. There are plenty of other artists that could do it, who could have done it. Like, I can't name one off the top of my head, but there are plenty of other artists who could have taken the Super Bowl halftime show at that point. But yeah, that is my cup of tea for the day, and we'll tell you how it goes next week. On that note, everybody, I think we're done here for the day. because it is almost 3 a.m.
You sure you don't want to use another personal vendetta for these topics you come up with on the fly?
Let me look at my movie collection.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. I'm kidding.
45-minute topic.
But yeah, I'm, I'm done for the day. Alright, everyone. Thanks so much for watching this episode. We are 2 hours and 45 minutes in. But anyways, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week. My name is Royal Dude Lorenzo. I am the Blue Squid here on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
My name is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man. Quick, I finally have all the Inkling Brothers panel footage. So for those of you who are listening to these podcasts as they're coming out, look forward to those coming out very soon.
Yep.
And that's bullshit. And I'm Eric.
Kodak Black. Alright, everybody.
Eric, what do you think of the critic reviews for Greatest Showman? It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Alright, everybody.
Feature
Just remember
episode
to subscribe to Dollar Shave Club, everybody.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, it's a good service, but
No,
yeah,
it
we're
really
not
is.
sponsored.
Alright, everybody.
How do you know? You don't need to shave, fucking baby face.
I'm trying to shave more. Anyways.
Oh man, he's trying to shave those 3 hairs he grows on his chin.
Alright, everybody. We'll see you in therapy. Bye.
Bye. Yes.
See you later.
Bye everyone, I'll remember you in therapy.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you.